Hey guys, how are we all doing? Good evening. Welcome to this live stream on the channel for you for tonight. So yes, international break is here, and we know how depressing we can find it at times. Yeah. So I thought, why not? Let's do a live stream, get you involved, and we could just talk about either the Toon or Newcastle in general. So yeah. That's why I thought I'd do one, and it's a way to sort of keep the channel going a little bit, particularly when there's new Premier League football on, and kind of do me original content. Yeah, to do at this moment of time while international break comes, unfortunately. So yeah, that's why I like doing these live streams as well for you all. So yeah, well then, let's read some comments out who have just started to come in. So here we are. So I've got Retro and UFCG. Hey, are you all right? Yes, good, thanks, man. And yourself? James Brown says, all right, lads. Yes, doing very well, thanks. So, yep. And I've got another one from James Brown. Say, John Bonds reckons we need to have some realism and that a mid-table finish should be applauded. Thought he played in the 3-2 win over Barca for us, so you think you would understand the club, yeah. I remember that season under Dalglish. 13th place finish it was, yeah. That's all we ever seem to do now. It's just aim for mid-table battle and relegation. That's the thing now under this current ownership. And not to mention the crap managers we've had in the past as well. So, yeah. Retro and UFC reply to James Brown's comment says, I read James Brown as well. And Retro and UFC says again, good evening. Lawrence, busy, but we'll join around 10. Yeah, that's no problem, Lawrence. And Retro and UFC says, I'm fine, mate. That's good to hear, man. Also, feel free to check out Jay's channel at Retro NUFC on YouTube. Feel free to do so. He's just hit over 300 subscribers. So help him on to his next target, which will be, I'm guessing, which will be around the 400 mark. I'm guessing for you, Jay. So yeah, feel free to go and check his channel out. Hit the subscribe button for him and help him on the way to 400 next. There you are. So yeah, just waiting some new comments that hopefully will start coming in again very, very soon. Yeah, good to see you all. Hopefully we'll get some more joining in very, very shortly as well. And also you can feel free to join in the live stream as well. I have got the link down in the description as well, but I will post it in the live chat as well. If you would like to join in as well, which would be very, very good. So, yeah. Jay said he can join. Yeah, no problem, man. If you want to, the link's in the description, or I can always, I can post it always in the live chat as well if you want to come in as well. If you can't find it in the description, so there you are. We'll go on for Mr. Dan Graham. So, bro, yes, keep well. Thanks, man, and yourself. Hopefully you can join in as well. It'd be great to have you on as well. Yeah. Also, don't forget to hit the like button as well. And also, if you are new, please subscribe as well. Be really much appreciated if you do help me on the road to 900 subscribers. So, yeah. Yeah, again, we'll just wait for some more comments to come through, and hopefully some can join in the stream as well. So just hang on for just a little bit here till we get the more comments in and see who comes in the live chat in the live stream as well. So yeah. How you find the international break so far? Did you bother with England last night? Or did you not bother with it? I actually didn't bother with the England game, to be honest, because I just kind of be chewed with international breaks, fortunately. But yes, and I think a lot of people were actually paying attention more to the Scotland game as well, who won on penalties and then to beat Serbia. And yeah, Mitrovic missing the penalty. Right then, Retro is ready to come in now, so we will bring him in now. So welcome, Jay, everyone.
Hello, Peter. Welcome.
How
How are you, my friend? I'm happy as Larry from last night's result.
Oh, this
Loving it.
game, you've got a bit of Scottish blood in you, haven't you?
Aye, we'll win last night for the boys in blue.
Mitrovic missing from the penalty spot.
I was laughing me head off. Like a little wee
Did
bed.
you bother with England as well? Oh, not really.
No, not really. Can't be bothered. I was just let England get on with that game. Moving from
Yeah.
Scotland in the Euros for the first time in 22 years. Loving it.
Yes.
So, Peter, any
Congrats.
questions tonight then, Peter? Any questions about
Well,
tonight?
it's how you find an international break? Do you enjoying it? Not really. Or die? No, you're not surprised.
Boring. I've done 2 live streams already. One with me and
Yeah.
you. What
Yep.
was you watching at Newcastle? I did one other night. It went alright. It didn't go that well, what I thought, but didn't
Yeah.
bother me. I got it done and a lot done.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
Got it done in the way, so I had 109 views on that one.
That's kind of neat. Keep it up. Keep it up, man. Dan
Yeah.
Graham said, just glad to see the wee Scots making it into next year's Euros. Things England v Scotland will be a much watched match, aye.
It will
Double
be,
digit.
yes. It will be, Dan Graham.
Yeah.
Get yourself in here, Dan Graham. Come on. I want to see the lovely face of Dan Graham. I've got
Big
some
Scott.
roses for you, Dan Graham. I've got some lovely roses for you. And the chocolate as well.
Oh, that was for Jay, man. I mean, I thought that was for Archer.
That's what Arthur, yes, it was,
I
aye.
thought that was for Archer.
It was Arthur's roses, yeah.
Hopefully, he will come in the live stream tonight as well. Be great to see him in
Oh,
as well.
with a beard.
Yeah.
That's been a good night. And that's a
Yeah.
race kind of boring, isn't it? It's like you can't really watch much. You
Nah,
can't
that's the thing. It's just like
really
it's not as
too.
interesting anymore.
Nah.
You'd rather watch the Premier League.
Apparently, there's some news about that, Mr. Peter. Apparently about that. Newcastle's game against Crystal Palace has been moved to Amazon Prime.
Has it?
I've heard.
Oh,
And
they're gonna move. They're gonna move a lot of fixtures around still, so they can get them live.
Stupid. How can't us lot, watch Newcastle games when they're on Amazon Prime?
Or other people will just look for another streaming site and they'll just find it on there.
It'd be his goals, probably.
There's one of them.
That's a good one.
Oh yeah.
No, it's been a good way for Scotland getting through. It's been good. You
Yeah,
know,
it has,
confidence on in the lads. You know, Ryan Christie was crying on camera last night, few tears.
I can imagine. It
Yeah,
looks like
but
Scotland have started to improve lately.
yeah, we've got Lyndon Dykes. He plays for QPR. He's a good striker. We had a good our keeper David Marshall getting on a bit now, but you know he did well last night for the lads to save Mitrovic's penalty.
Mitch,
Former Newcastle player. I was buzzing. Very happy last night with that result.
I can imagine as well.
So any more comments in the chat there, Peter? Any more lovely comments?
Yeah, we'll just read through. I do Wallace's PL statement on the pay-per-view. Yes, that's gone completely now, where the 14.95 is not happening anymore. Thank frig for that. What a bloody rip-off that was.
Hallelujah. You gotta say it.
Dan Graves says, screw the rolls and chocolates. Take a few cans of beer any day. It's Friday.
Oh, that's very true, Dan Graham.
Got me drink already.
I haven't got one actually. Mine's in the garage.
It's in the garage.
Yeah.
Why not help yourself? Can get yourself one.
Yeah, I won them. I can't get bored tonight. I've had two already. I'm like warm, comfy. I got them in a minute.
Yeah.
I thought it's been and that's a break comes in too early, doesn't it? It comes too early, you know. Like it comes in too much into it. It's like early days, isn't it? It comes like after two couple of games ago. And then that's a break. We're like, oh, here we go again.
Well, James Brown's just said, "Hey, someone say that Bruce is our worst manager since Sam Allardyce. Do you agree?" I wouldn't say he's probably been the worst. Say he's been the worst manager. You can see he's probably going to get up there.
Yeah, he's been one of the.
I think McLaren was one of the worst. But I don't know if Newcastle Fans TV just released a video on YouTube, and it's all about the stats so far this season.
I watched it actually. You watched that later on.
Right. This is what the stats said. You right?
Come on, let's get them in the results.
These are the ones that I'll see. It said Dolo and Fernandez has played every minute this season.
Right.
Only 32 players have this season. Fernandez has cleared the ball the most with 44. Lascelles is joined 8th with 32. Lascelles is top for most clearances off the line with 2. Shelby has 1 as well. Darlow has actually made the most saves in Europe with a total of 39. Darlow is one of only 5 goalkeepers to have saved a penalty this season. Darlow has the second most high claims with a score of 9. And also, Darlow has the most punches with a score of 10.
Bloody hell.
Says it all, really playing into Steve Bruce at this moment.
Yep. What's his name? It's called. Isn't that called Courage, Steve Bruce? That's his name, isn't it?
Oh, look who it is.
Oh, it's the Roses. Where's the Roses, Archer? I missed the
Come
Roses.
on, Archer. If you're ready, come on in. Come on in.
Get Archie Barnes here. He brings Roses. I'm going to Roses on Asda.
The company's house update that has Newcastle fans talking the Saudi takeover. Yeah, I heard something about that. I'll have to look what it was again. I couldn't remember the story off the top of my head. Joe Kinnear was worse than Big Sam if you call him a manager. Oh, Joe Kinnear, 19% win record.
Not. He was the worst manager gunning him, man.
Only thing is, Joe Kinnear didn't take over a full season. Came in October, left around February.
Yep.
Steve McLaren, charge at the beginning, left with 10 games left.
Yep. Steve Bruce, still here.
Yeah, unfortunately. John Colbert is going to Euro 2020 with Scotland. Who would have thought that them two things would be possible? Well, he's only assistant to Steve Clark. But imagine if he took the full job there.
Oh, him and Scotland. God, him. The best coach in the Premier League. Oh, hey.
Aye, exactly.
He won't do that, man. He's going there as Scotland for pride.
Yeah.
We've got their story. 9 games unbeaten. Not unbeaten, but 9 games unbeaten on penalties, like.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing well, mate.
Aye.
No.
But yes. Go Go back to England. I didn't watch them yesterday.
I mean, yeah, I can't be off for England.
Yeah, they won 3-0 through Maguire, Sancho, and Calvert-Lewin.
Yep.
David Waller, Rafa Benitez. We all miss Rafa, don't we?
We do.
Still have to move on from him,
Oh,
unfortunately.
right there. He's on the camera right now. It's Rafa Benitez, his twin
Yeah.
brother. I'm Blackbeard.
The only thing with Rafa, he's pretty much got to go. Hey, I've grown what you call a handlebar tash.
no.
He's just pretty much going all the way around there.
Yes.
I've only grown handlebar sides.
mine's just all long and furry.
No matter when December hits, I'll be taking this off again. I'm only doing this just for the month again, and when December hits, that comes off.
I might do it as well. Mine's staying on for longer.
Let's see.
So what are you drinking then, Peter? What are you drinking tonight and tomorrow?
It's called Sea Dog Rum.
Nice one. Bit of rum, eh?
Really nice.
Why not?
As well, so yeah. And the stuff's really nice as well. Dan Graham says Scotland will be expected to struggle, but this is football. Anything can happen in 2060. Nobody expected Wales to go as far as the semis. Yes, there you go.
We can, yes, we could do it. We could do it.
We only scraped past Wales in the 2016 Euros. I remember that. James Browner says, "What have you made of Jeff Hendrick so far this season?" I agree with Roy Keane. Said last night after the match, it's been shite so far this season. He's done nothing. During his time, he just stands there, doesn't try to go for tackles, or if he does, he's going in with what you call 50-50 tackles.
No.
Not any good, and unfortunately, and it's been very disappointing. Very disappointing. How he's getting ahead of Isaac Hayden is beyond beggars.
My name is Jeff. What's his name?
Jeff
It's like he's crap, but it's like he just come to the club on a free from Burnley.
Unless Steve Bruce is just ruining him.
I think he is.
He was one of Burnley's decent players.
He was a good player, Burnley, and you know. Now we're going to put two of them along.
Steve Bruce has been seeing him as a bloody winger half the time when he's not a bloody winger. Centre midfielder.
Exactly.
But still centre midfielder against Southampton. He was still tried.
He was like a donkey going for wheels. Donkey going. I like to pass the ball for his passes.
Yeah, well, Graves just said only good from Hendrick was his debut, assisted Wilson, and scored against West Ham. Once Shelby and Hayden are fit or the bear. Well, Hayden is fit. I don't know why he's been left to sit on the bench when he's one of our most very good
midfielders. He's been brilliant, Hayden.
I like Hayden. He's massively improved. And how Jeff Hendrick's getting ahead of him at the moment. I know hopefully Shelby will come back as a better player after his operation.
Hopefully, yes.
James Browner said, if Bruce would sack tomorrow, who would you want to replace him? Don't care much for Eddie Howe. See, a lot of people said they would like Eddie Howe. He's still a young manager, but I wouldn't mind him. But the thing is, like, you can tell Eddie Howe, if he said he wants a break from management for a full season, then you can't blame him. You can tell his hands got tied behind his back a lot last season for Bournemouth.
Yeah.
After that, he looks so knackered after that.
He has, isn't he? He has.
He's one that said, I think I want time just for management for a while.
Time on his own space. His own freedom.
Yeah, you can tell how tired he was last season with Bournemouth. David Waller wants Steve Bruce out, definitely.
It's called Cabbage Steve Bruce. That's his new name.
Yeah, man.
Trace. So I kind of stand him. Like smack him. But what he bought this club for this for me being here, Peter? What he bought the club, Steve Bruce?
So far, not a
Toilet
lot with mid-table dross performances
again.
this season.
Five at the back again.
Yeah, win the Carabao. I suppose win the Carabao quarter-final.
Begins Brentford.
Mhm.
Watch Lemon on Sky Sports as well. 5:30. I'll be watching that game, alright. Definitely.
James Brown said 5-1. Oh, that game. Gone back 10 years ago against Sunderland. Benny
Robbing
Howe
that
came
game.
in. We won't see Fraser play for what we've heard from March. 9 games after lockdown, Fraser played no games. And the way the squad is, we need Fraser.
I do.
Yes, that's a good point. I'll remember that. Yes, Fraser is a very important player for our squad as well.
I
He
like him.
gets on the wing, he can whip crosses into the box. And yeah, you can remember that time he had the fallout towards the end of last season when the season restarted when he refused to play.
Yeah. Did I? Did he? He did.
Well, if Steve Bruce guards, at least we won't be getting Tony Pulis.
No. No.
He's took over the job at it's the new Sheffield Wednesday manager.
What Wednesday is it? I know Wednesday. I thought it was Friday. Boom, ba-ding, ching, ching. I thought it was Wednesday. It was Friday, didn't I? That's
He's
the,
Tony Pulis is now the new Sheffield Wednesday manager.
would you take Guy Monk?
No,
No chance.
sorry, not an upgrade.
Ah, no.
Not an upgrade. Sorry, he's not an upgrade to Steve Bruce.
No, he's not like.
Oh, Dan Graham says, right, boys, I'm in the mood for some rants and banner. Gonna get ready to join. Yes. Come on, Dan. Come on in.
Come on, Danny boy. Oh, Danny boy. Get yourself in,
James
son.
Brown says, Ryan Fraser is a very important player for both club and country, so hopefully he can stay fit. Yeah, he's still out with the hamstring.
Yeah. Oh, yes, swine. Bless me, Peter. Bless me,
James
what I meant.
Brown, Sheffield Friday have Tony Pulis as a manager. We've just thought about that before. Yep.
Come on, Johnny. Come on,
See,
Johnny.
see managers like Pulis and Bruce and all that, they're good for the championship. Same with
Yeah.
Neil Warnock, they're great for the championship. Just up the Premier League. No.
Back door. Something like that. Noise.
Mm-hmm.
It's like when you look at like Steve Bruce. Why is
Oh,
it start at the back for when you've got we should play 4-4-2, not
4-4-2. I think 4-2-3 one's been better.
been a lot better.
You've got the back four, you've got your two centre midfielders,
Mm-hmm.
you've got your two wingers, your two best wingers, you've got your number 10. You all know who's good at playing that number 10. Then you've got your striker.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Hopefully, get Dan will be joining in a moment.
That's fine. All
Me
right.
too.
In about a minute. Metro has taken over the live stream from Peter. Yeah, I agree with that, yeah.
Oh,
Who's back?
yeah. Just read just a couple more comments because it looks like Dan is ready to come in. Oh, James Brown said, "No, look, if we sack Bruce, we'd end up with Mark Hughes."
Oh, God.
Oh God, Mark Hughes.
Why him?
James Brown, 9-0 formation. So yeah, easy. 9 men behind the ball, only one up front. That's how it is, like under Bruce.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah, right then we'll get Dan in the live stream as well. So let's welcome him into the live stream. Hey there, man.
Evening, boys. You all right?
Yeah, good.
Oh, Daniel, the main man.
How was it? You all right, mate? Keeping eyes?
Not
Yeah,
bad.
yourself?
Where's my roses? I'm waiting. Me roses, me chocolates.
The beer, man. The beer.
I got the beers in the
Look what I got,
cupboard.
Peter. Look what I got,
Oh,
Peter.
the good old bodies. The good old bodies.
Oh, no. Being a bit naughty tonight as well. Got the vodka on me as well.
Oh, the vodka as well. My word.
My
I've
word.
drunk
Yeah.
vodka for ages.
That's the mood I'm in.
Are you enjoying the? How are you finding the international breakdown? First of all, are you enjoying it, or do you think it's just like paint dry as always?
I was just glad to see Scotland get through to the Euros, actually, because I was actually rooting for them last night.
I've been more interested in Scotland than the bloody England game.
Get
Well,
it, fun.
Well, it's good to see another team from the UK going to the Euros, you know, with England and Scotland playing each other as well. I think it's going to be some good banter for that game. I mean, that's one game I'm really looking forward to, England against Scotland. And my surname, Graham, is actually Scottish, so I'm half Scottish. So, yeah, I'm really looking forward to the Euros next season with England and Scotland playing each other. I think it'd be really, really good.
Well.
I think it'd be interesting. I think Scotland have improved a lot recently.
I think it'll be the must-watch England game for such a long time. Pretty much since the Croatia World Cup semi-final, I think that'll be the much-watched Euro game for England since the Croatia semi-final. And of course, we saw how that went down. We lost, so I think there'll be much, much more anticipation for that game against Scotland than there was against Croatia. I mean, they've done well to get the Euros. I mean, we saw Wales 4 years ago. They did so well, get to the semis. They only just lost to England back in 2016 in the Euros. So Scotland could surprise. You just never know in football. I always say you never know in football. I really think that.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
It'll be good.
It'll be good. Manager Rafa Benitez, Steve Bruce out.
No chance.
Well, I think there's a majority of the people now following the Southampton game that want Bruce out. I mean, good lad, Jay.
That game was utterly dreadful.
Yeah, thankfully I didn't watch it. So I dodged a bullet there watching the Southampton game.
You did,
but
it was terrible.
And then we've got Chelsea next weekend. We've got Chelsea after the internationals. I have to say, we are fucked for that game. We are totally fucked.
Yeah. Go for it. We just sit back. We're just going to get what we deserve, even though our record against Chelsea at home has been pretty okay. But yeah, we're just going to
the players that Frank Lampard has brought in this summer. I mean, Werner, Havertz, Ziyech. You know, he's brought in some quality to Chelsea, and I still think they have a chance at the title this season. I mean, still early days, but with the players that Lampard's brought in at Chelsea, even Mendy, you know, he kept 5 or 6 clean sheets in a row, something like that. Chilwell in defence, he's in my fantasy Premier League team because I know he's a defender who can go forward, score goals and assist. You know, and he did win the Premier League with Leicester back in 2016. Yeah. So, yeah, I think we're screwed for when we play Chelsea. We're totally screwed.
We're gonna get absolutely bombed.
We are. It's gonna happen. I have low expectations, and of course. If I'm right, Wilson got injured against Southampton, so
I don't think the injury is serious as what we feared.
But you never know with hamstring injuries, though. You never know with hamstring injuries, so excuse me. So you never know with hamstring injuries. I mean, Wilson he may be fit, but the only downside is Steve Bruce, because he's so brainless. You'll just say, right, Wilson's not 100% fit. Let's start Johnson. And if we start Johnson, we're fucked straight before the game starts.
See what? I remember that time game. Julian had that chance, which he had the header, which was saved. But yeah, I can understand.
I mean, hasn't Jordan's only goals came against who was it that we beat 7-0 again?
Morecambe.
Morecambe.
Welcome. Yeah, that's it. I think that they were Jordan's only goal so far this season. So
Only thing I would say with Joe Linton, he's done more than what Andy Carroll's done this season so far.
to be honest, I still love Andy Carroll, and I really, really want to see him score. I really do. I mean, it's a low percent. It's a low percentage that it's going to happen, but I would still love to see Andy Carroll score at least once.
True.
Coming back to Newcastle last season, he didn't get any. I think he came close on a few occasions.
True, but I think this season he looks done. He just looks totally done.
He's knackered. He's knackered now.
I said in earlier stream as well. Go on, Pete.
I'll let you finish what you were saying.
I was going to say in an earlier stream, I suggested to Andy Carroll, forget the money, play with passion. I said, go play for Gateshead. I mean, I think that'd be a good place for him to go and regain his fitness and his confidence because low-ranked team, but still, it doesn't matter about the money if you love football that much. If I was Andy Carroll, I'd go play for Gateshead. You know, low-ranked team, you get your chance.
You will.
So what about the money?
Yeah.
You know, if you love football that much, go play there with passion. I mean, if I would do that if I was a player. I would go play for Gateshead.
You go back to that game he started, Carroll against Newport. Honestly, he looked totally done. He was struggling to get on the end of things. When we were through Wilson and Joe Linton on, we looked a lot more better.
Yeah, I mean, it's a shame for Andy Carroll because, you know, as a local lad, we will support him. But it's just hard. The injuries have really hit him, and it's hard to come back from that kind of position and then go straight back to the Premier League. You know, the Premier League is pretty much the toughest league. It's the toughest league in the world in football these days. I mean, of course, you've got the leagues in France, Spain, Germany, and Italy as well. I mean, they're all big leagues, but nothing compares to the Premier League, especially us being in England ourselves. So, like I said, I think Carroll should look to local teams in the lower leagues. You know, like you've got like Gateshead, across the country. You can go to Carlisle or to Darlington, Hartlepool. You know, there's more clubs to play for.
He's been looking to train with Gateshead or get a look in with Gateshead. Rob Elliott.
Why not?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's doing the right thing. To be honest, I mean, he says he loves the area. Gateshead's only across the river from Newcastle, so I think it's I think Elliott's doing the right thing. You know, I mean, and plus you've seen loads of us included. We go to the Gateshead games. You still get support over there in Gateshead from Newcastle fans. They'll still go over there.
I can't wait to go back and watch Gateshead again when we're allowed back in there next as well.
I watch by Spartans on a Saturday night.
No, I've been watching the Spartans. And I've
never been to a Gateshead. I've never been to a Gateshead game yet, but I do know where the stadium is. But yeah, I would like to go. I mean,
get along one time. It's good to go watch it. It's really good to go.
Yeah, definitely.
Because you've got also like the other local non-leagues. I've seen Newcastle Benfield play.
God,
the best one for me. The best one for me, without question, was the Newcastle women's. I went and watched them watch Blackburn, and we won 11-0. So
you've got the women there.
Can't get wrong with that.
I've seen
£43 entry.
I've seen
Newcastle
play.
Dunstan.
I've seen Dunstan play. There's some more I want to check out. There's Newcastle Blue Star. There's them to check out. We might check out something like Whitley Bay and all that.
We got
I don't think too many people look at local clubs really. I mean, they always look at the big clubs like Newcastle, Middlesbrough, Sunderland. You know,
true. You see, but a lot of them.
There's so many low-ranked clubs that you can look at, and you can just go and watch football with passion. You know.
But you see, like a lot of the lower league clubs like to play because for the game. Where a lot of Premier League clubs just play just for a bit of that now.
But on the day, lads, on the day, you got like Blythe Spartans on here. You got Belton.
See, Blythe Spartans, I've seen them once when I went last year to see against, was it Alfred and Town in the cup competition?
Oh, was that as well?
I'll go back and watch Blythe again one night.
Belton's doing all right, man. Belton's not too bad, but behind them. Like Arsenal. You've got Belton, you've got Whitley Bay, you just said, you've got Mott of Town. You've got some good close local clubs, so can't support them.
Watch the game, and they care more about the game than they do for money.
They
Definitely.
do. Because they get money in the door, and they get the people at the door. The kids come in the door. They love it.
Yeah, I mean, we went to the second round of the FA Cup now. There's so many lower league clubs that will push to at least get as far as they can in the FA Cup. But
They will.
once the Premier League and Championship clubs come in, then it's really, really hard for them to try. I mean, if I remember about 10 or so years ago, I think Blythe Spartans, I think they had a good run in the FA Cup. I think didn't they knock out Birmingham City? Birmingham City they knocked out, I think.
Yeah, Hartlepool.
Was it again? It was.
I can't remember what year, but I'm pretty sure Blythe Spartans did knock out Birmingham City one year. I'm pretty sure they did.
No,
and I don't think. Unfortunately, I don't think Steve Bruce was manager at the time. So that was a bit of a shame.
No. But yeah, at the end of the day, you got local teams out there like Gateshead, Blythe, Burton, Ashton, Morpeth. You've got loads of good teams out there. Go and support them.
Yeah, we do. We do.
You're going to need the money, particularly when there's no fans going. That these clubs are going to struggle massively.
Benton's struggling badly. We're struggling. Blythe struggling at the minute. Been hell.
But the Newcastle Blue Star won my chicken now about because he was there as well. Lee Clark.
Lee Clark. I mean,
how's the
Riverside? Lee Clark.
You can
stay there. Haven't the Riverside allowed fans in lately, haven't they? About 10,000?
They're still doing it, unless because of lockdown.
Because of lockdown, but I'm sure they did just before.
Something like that, I think it was.
I'm sure the Riverside allowed.
No shields as well, Peter. No shields. You got no shields on. No shields. No shields.
There's another club, another long league club, Heaton Stannington as well. I wouldn't mind checking them out as well. Heaton Stannington. We've got one more comment. David Wallace says Newcastle United takeover remains on the waiting game. I didn't think it is still. I think it's still. But Derby's new owners show life goes on. Oh yes,
I think as far as the Newcastle
it's the Bin Zaid group.
I
think as far as the Newcastle takeover, that's game over. I mean, if it was done, it would have been done by now, whether we had lockdown or COVID or not. You know, we heard about it for 2-3 months. So if it was going to be done, it would have been done by now. So forget it.
Yeah.
No, it's done. Liam NUFC Bolton just beaten Salford.
Pretty hell.
League 2. Because Bolton have been on a massive struggle. They've gone from the Premier League to the Championship, then to League 1, and they're down to League 2.
And I think when Allardyce in his last year or two as manager, I'm sure they were chasing Europe as well. So from Europe qualification, then a couple of years later, relegation all the way down to League 2. So, yeah, I mean, it's been a huge blow for them.
They did get that takeover because imagine if that didn't happen and they would have ended up similar to what happened to Bury.
They did.
Yeah, I mean, we saw what happened to like Portsmouth. We saw what the likes happened to Portsmouth as well in 2008. They won the FA Cup 2 years later, down from the Premier League with administration, lost a number of points, and now they're in League 2 as well. So, yeah, you never know what can happen with the clubs. I mean, I think Newcastle are lucky to not have it themselves. Sometimes.
Yeah, James Brown. Borough did a trial. Oh, that will be for the fans. Getting an eye. And Liam says, National League champions, they'll never sing that. No. James Brown says, Sunderland getting takeover a 22-year-old French billionaire. I did hear about that. I'm not sure how true it is exactly, because I've heard it's been coming from the tabloids lately, so we'll have to wait and see.
You know what the first thing that billionaire? Do you know what the first thing that billionaire will say to the manager?
Mm-hmm.
Let's re-sign Jordan. Let's re-sign Jordan Pickford.
Have him.
And then we'll open up a pub next to the Stadium of Shite called the Little Arms. Just in tribute to Neil.
Liam and UFC Portsmouth are in League 1. Yeah, hopefully they'll can bounce back out of that league.
I thought League Two.
I can't remember with Portsmouth. I mean, they've been up and down over the last several years, so it's hard to remember where they are now.
League One. Hopefully they can get out of that league.
Oh yeah, because they play Sunderland now. Yeah, that's right. Oh yeah, Sunderland in League One.
Yeah, I know. Yes, have it out there. Oh, yeah. Sunderland now.
Of course, Portsmouth are in League One. Yeah, it's hard to remember with everything that goes on over the last few years. You know,
Been a horrible year this year. Been a horrible year, and it's been tough for being Castle fans like me. Scotland getting for the Euros, happy days. Been joyful.
I think the only positive now is that the year can end in a high. Then we can see 2021 a better year. I mean, have the Euros back. I mean, fans getting back into the stadiums. That for me, being a big football fan, would be the icing on the cake. Really, if we could get the fans back in. Yeah.
On a Saturday night and a Friday night afternoon. So afternoon watching the Newcastle game.
Day one of Newcastle United take over now. That's gone completely now. Lehman UFC Portsmouth was in League 2, but they got promoted in 2017.
Yeah. Well, I think they're starting to make a bit of a comeback, so that's something. You see clubs from from both ways. I mean, you see clubs all from League 2 all the way to League 1, like Bournemouth did, Hull City as well. I'm sure there's one more club. Wigan. Yeah, I'm sure there was another club as well. Was it Blackpool, maybe? I know Bournemouth definitely did. And there was another small club. Huddersfield, that's it. So Huddersfield went all the way from League 2 to the Premier League as well. And then you see it the other way around. Clubs go from the Premier League all the way down to League 2. So, yeah, it happens.
James Brown says, best fans you've seen at St James's Park. He thinks it's got to be Luton Town in the FA Cup a few years back. Yes, I remember that day, 2018, third round, the FA Cup against Luton Town. They brought about 7,000 fans with them.
I mean, I always say the smaller clubs always bring the best fans. I mean, they know they don't have much of a chance, but they still go there to support their club. And plus, the FA Cup's all about full of magic. I mean, you never know when a big upset can happen. I mean, thankfully, we saw Mansfield beat Sunderland the other weekend. So that was the best FA Cup magic we've seen happen. But you like that one, Jay? But still, yeah. I mean,
it's a really good fan. That's the magic. To be honest, I thought Luton was definitely one of them.
Yeah, that's the magic. That's the magic of the FA Cup. You just don't know what can happen. I mean, you always see cup upsets and small clubs beat big clubs, But that's the brilliance of the FA Cup.
Liam says, even when fans do return, I'll be watching lower league football. I won't regret that decision. Well, yeah, it is good to go back to the lower league teams because they definitely need the cash for them to survive.
Well, after the women's game, I'll be going to watch the women's team more, I think. I mean, watching women play. And plus watching the women's game the first. Plus watching the first women's game.
The women
are... yeah. I mean, the first game... The first game I went to, they won 11-0, and they were fantastic. It was a good experience to go there. Only £3 entry. And then just across the road, you got the wheat chief there to go have a nice Sunday carvery. Perfect. I mean, it was a really good day out for me that day. Because with lockdown and everything that's happened this year.
Next time, Jay, you should come along one time. Come watch the women one time.
I should.
You shouldn't. Oh, you definitely should. I mean, it's right next to Calton Parkway Metro, so easy to get to. £3 entry. Go in there, watch the game, have a pint or two, and then you've got the wheat chief next to it. Have a Sunday carvery. It's perfect, man. It's absolutely perfect. The day I went there last month with the lads, it was the biggest smile on my face that I had for such a long time because it was such a good day out and good to see everybody. And of course, I finally got Peter's birthday party in a month later, but it was worth it.
You did.
He needs to take over a job. Lehman UFC Birmingham, one of the best fans I've ever seen.
Oh, actually worth it.
What was that? Was that when they came to St James's Park and they won 5-1 in 2007 or something? They would be happy.
Well,
remember that? I was in that game and that was dreadful. That game.
I'm glad I wasn't there.
That was painful. That was guess it was in charge of Birmingham City as well.
Steve Bruce.
Bruce, yes.
Remember it well.
So that God knows what he was thinking back then, saying, "Oh, I've just kicked Newcastle 5 in the FA Cup. Oh, wait a minute, I'm a Geordie. What do I say?
Oh,
I don't know."
Okay.
He was probably definitely enjoying it then. Wouldn't surprise me if he was.
Mm.
There we go, on the room.
Indeed, yes.
I'm out at the
Get
minute as
to
well.
the top.
They one leg.
A bit of a rum there, Pete.
Oh, yes.
You want a minute?
And I go wrong with a bit of rum.
Get one a bit.
Oh, excuse me.
Dirty pig.
The beer's going down well tonight.
Oh,
It
this
is
is an
really
interesting
well
one
on the old sauce.
This is an interesting one from James Brown.
Mr. Brown.
Is Jeff Stelling singing to you, James?
It said, if you could change one result from the past, what would it be? Oh, it's far too many.
God. Probably you, Graham. Thank Graham. How are you doing?
One result from the
I
past.
got one. Against Arsenal. 4.
4-4.
Going
Oh, that
Actually,
was a game of that.
the 4-4 against Arsenal, we should have won because I'm sure we had one last chance. Was it Nolan or Best near the end? And did we score and got ruled out for offside?
That was Best before
Leon Best.
he scored to make it 4-2.
Oh, yes, that's right. So we should have won that game against Arsenal. We should have won.
That goal was not offside, was it?
No, it wasn't.
Where's VAR when you fucking need it?
Anyway, I think it was 4-0, and I know the fixture was 0-0. That was against Birmingham the last time we played them in the Championship. Yes, the 4-0 we won at St James's. Yeah, and the way was 0-0.
The result I would change. Well, one game I wouldn't change actually would be the 2-1 defeat of Sunderland in 1999, because if it wasn't for that, Ruud Gullit would have got sacked and Bobby Robson wouldn't have come in. So I wouldn't change that match.
Nope.
I think I would change the Forest game in 2016 when we lost 2-1. We got Shelvey and Dummett sent off, and those weren't red cards. There were no chance there were red cards.
I remember that game. Yeah, I remember that.
As well.
And I saw something on the Chronicle page the other day. 10 of the worst refereeing decisions against Newcastle, and that game was mentioned. Another one as well, I think, was Colaccini's sent off against Sunderland.
Yeah,
that was one.
And in that game until that happened.
And if I remember correctly, if I'm thinking the right game, just before it, or another game before Sunderland, we played Norwich, and Loic Remy got sent off in 2013-14. And I don't think Remy should have been sent off. So if we had Remy for that game, we could have well beaten Sunderland that day. So
we should have.
I think one of the Man United 1-0 defeat or the Blackburn match the same, which cost us the Premier League title.
Well, how about actually the game I would want to change? I think without doubt, it's got to be maybe one of the 4-3 defeats to Liverpool, which could have won us the title in '96.
Could have.
So if we could have denied one of those goals, or maybe 1 point, you never know how the other games could have gone. So maybe we could have won the title in '96. Or the biggest result of all was not selling Andy Cole to Man United. Because if we didn't sell him, we would have won the title in '96. We would have won it.
Actually,
would have.
No, we would have won the title in '96 if we didn't sell Andy Cole. We would have won it.
I actually heard about the full story of what happened with that, actually.
Yeah.
Apparently, I don't think Andy Cole wanted to leave. I think the club forced him out because they wanted the money. It's all about the fucking money these days in football.
But it was doled down between him and Kevin Keegan. Liam NUFC says, I would change for the way because we would have stayed up against Sunderland. That was back in the 2015-16 season where we drew 0-0. We had so many chances in that game, but just didn't take them.
One thing about that for me, I think getting relegated was one thing that made Rafa wanted to stay, because he could have well kept us up, being a world-class manager, but he didn't. But still,
he got so many of the deadwood and so many players who wanted out off.
Yeah, but the one thing that kept Rafa at Newcastle, without question, was the fans. And we kept saying, Rafa, we want you to stay. And even the 5-1 win against Spurs in the last game of the season, the fans were so passionate to Rafa. I think that's what made him stay. And yeah, even if we did stay up, maybe it would have been that passionate. But even though we got relegated, we knew it by that game. We still kicked Spurs, but the passion the fans had for Rafa that day, without question, he wouldn't have stayed without the fans' passion. Without question.
Liam said, "Would you change the game against Benfica?" I don't think I would change that one.
That's a tough one, really, because that's the last time that Newcastle had a good campaign in Europe. I mean, 2012, 13. I mean, if we didn't sell Demba Ba, then maybe we could have gone further. I mean, Ba and Cisse up front were a great combination. I mean, we had Ben Arfa on the wing, Cabaye in the midfield. So I think it's the only board's fault, really, that we sold those players that cost were in Europe. But it was a good run, but not good enough.
James Brown says, "Any of you go to Main Castle back in the 90s to watch the lads train?" Actually, no, to be honest, didn't. Back in them days.
No, I didn't know.
I was too young to remember that.
If it wasn't for Rafa, we would have been another Leeds United. If we go down again, we won't come back up. Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
I think you've got to question who. It all depends who stays and who leaves.
That's very true.
Yeah, I mean, one thing about Rafa, he attracted players as well. So, I mean, in the last few months of his contract, but he still attracted Miguel Almiron to come in for 21 million. We still got him, but it all depends on the manager themselves. I mean, some big names do attract players. So, yeah, if it wasn't for Rafa with the players that we had, it could have been a total different story, to be honest.
It could have been.
Any more comments, Pete?
Yeah, still waiting for some more. But yeah, what I'll do is I'll keep posting the link in the live chat in case you want us to come in. Hopefully, we can get the likes of Archer. I know Lawrence said he would come in around about 10 o'clock to see who else.
Where's Mr. James Sharkey tonight?
I know.
Especially as a popular here. Hopefully, we could see him at some point. James Brown said Championship gets harder season by season. Well, it's getting more competitive.
It definitely is. I mean, you've seen. I mean, I think last season so many clubs went for the playoffs. I mean, I think before the last game last season, Nottingham Forest win the playoffs and they screwed it, and Swansea played hard to get in there. So I think there's so many clubs over the last 2 or 3 seasons in the Championship that have never been in the Premier League. They have pushed hard to at least get the playoffs.
Oh, they have.
It's definitely getting a lot more competitive, the Championship, over the last few seasons. Definitely. Particularly when Newcastle went up. When Newcastle went up, we had Brighton and Huddersfield come with us. First season in the Premier League. In Huddersfield, unfortunately, to go down the other year. Brighton have done well. This season, I think they had a very good start with Graham Potter. I mean, the Newcastle performance, they bossed it. And then they have slowed down a little bit over the last few games, but still, they are still a good side. And Graham Potter, I think, is a good manager.
In popular opinion, the Championship is a harder league than the Premier League, as relegated teams don't often come back up. Well, yeah, Huddersfield went down, technically struggled to come back in.
A couple of years ago, Hull City went down. A couple of years ago, Hull City went down, and now they're in League One. So, yeah, that shows it with some clubs like Hull. Sunderland went out down in the Championship. Season after they went straight back down to League One, so that's all right.
Well, it looks like we have Sean here from Toon TV, so we'll welcome him in now. So let's welcome him. Here he is. Hello.
Evening, lads. How's it going?
He's back.
Hello,
Yes, I've just been playing some FIFA, as I do. Keep myself entertained through the lockdown because there's nothing else to do with life. So, yeah.
Nice two-fuck. Nice crap. That's the two-fuck.
So,
he was heard my play, didn't he? He was heard my play shop. He said, "Where is he?" He was heard my play.
No, I'm sorry, lads. Honestly, I've been listening in. I've just been playing FIFA. I've just had to play a few squad battle games. I've been listening in.
Good lad.
So you enjoyed the international break as well, or did you bother with the England game, or no? Not at all.
Nah, I caught the highlights. Couldn't be asked.
Here you go.
I'm more like for me. I'm more about the club football, like Newcastle, going to watch lower league. England for me, just it's Gareth Southgate. There's nothing there, if you know what I mean. Like I'm not even. Let's be honest. I'm not even looking forward to the Euros. That says it all. Like, I know England, Scotland, it'll be a watchable game, but I don't. England will not win the Euros. No chance.
What about Scotland qualifying though, Sharky? What do you think of that?
I'm proud for Scotland. I think they'll go further than us. If Wales can, they will. It just goes to prove that Scotland are improving. Jay said it. They're getting better. I mean, I'm not saying England are getting worse. It's just the thing is with England, right? I don't feel like us Newcastle fans have got a real connection with England unless you're proper passionate about the national scene. Like with Gareth Southgate in charge, he's anti-Newcastle. Like anything that we do positive. We never get like players to be chosen. You know, Wilson could go the whole season scoring 30 goals and you're not getting the side.
No.
I know.
Do you remember Jamal Lascelles and Shelby and that who should have been going to the World Cup and they didn't?
Yeah,
it's comical.
I remember that very well. I think there was a lot of rage from Newcastle fans thinking, I think Shelby and Lascelles did deserve a chance back at the World Cup.
I'm still fuming to this day, and I'm still fuming 2 years later. Like let's be honest, right? Let's get it straight. Since the World Cup and we went out with Croatia, a game we should have won, by the way. We should have been in the final. Not saying we should have won the tournament, but we should have been at least the final. We've not been the same since. We're being very lethargic. At Denmark, I mean, losing 1-0. Iceland, I don't know how we beat them because let's be honest, they were better than us. We've never really looked. I mean, I've seen the highlights of the game yesterday. I mean, I'm not getting excited with beating Republic of Ireland because they're crap. Do you know what I mean? Like that's why we get too overhyped. We can't beat the better nations. Like Belgium, we beat them only just. But if we come up against Germany, Spain, Italy, France, do you think we beat them?
No.
Do you know what I mean? Like we'll get so overhyped for beating the likes of Northern Ireland, who we should put aside at Wales. So you know what I mean? Come on, these sides are not good sides. They're not good. Honestly, that's like Newcastle, right? Getting a buzz over beating someone in League Two from the FA Cup. Nothing to get excited about. Anyway,
Liam's comment says, "Look at the recent relegated teams in our return: Hull, Middlesbrough, QPR, Reading, Blackburn, Blackpool, Sunderland, Wigan." And so many more. He's on about the clubs that have been relegated from the Premier League have just never come back ever since.
I haven't either. There's loads, aren't there? There's loads, all right.
Well, Hull are starting to try and get back. You know, I know they've had a few bad times with the owners. I mean, they're in League One at the minute, but I still believe they'll bounce straight back into the Championship. They've got too strong of a budget for that league.
Another team I'm going to mention.
And thing is, they're a passionate bunch. Once the fans get in, they'll get about 30,000 for League One. That'll be over expectations.
Another team as well that have never come back to the Premier League since it got relegated in 2007 is Charlton Athletic as well. So they're another one.
Yeah,
I've been like talking of League One clubs. Portsmouth for the one I'm looking out for because I think they're like a proper like down to earth Premier League club. They've just got passionate fans. They're in it for the game. They're in it for the drink up. Go on and enjoy the game. Get behind the lads. A bit like us Newcastle fans. We'll go in it. We'll go for the day out. We'll have a piss up. Go and enjoy the game. Then either if you win, great. If you lose, you hit the boost. Doesn't matter. That's the way they are, and that's where we are. Like I want passionate fans in the Premier League, not box clubs where there's no atmosphere.
True.
Yeah.
Nobody says passionate fans more than the Newcastle fans, without question.
That's what I mean. Like I mean, yeah, fair enough. Our home. I'll be honest. Our home, like atmosphere is pretty bland at the best of times. Let's be honest. But that's not the fans' fault. That's Mike Ashley. That's what he's done. But away from home, you can't question it. We're unbelievable away from home.
Liam says, even though Middlesbrough ain't a rivalry, Southgate hates us because he was at Middlesbrough. Well, he just likes to avoid picking Newcastle players full stop.
Well, let's be honest, we could get hammered off Middlesbrough, which we did do in a pre-season friendly, but I couldn't give two flying hoots about Middlesbrough, if I'm being brutally honest.
Since Charlton got relegated in 2006, yes. Season in the Premier League.
I'll be more in like bothered if we lost to Sunderland, but if we'd lost to Middlesbrough, I'd be like, oh well, doesn't matter.
I hate to be a smart ass to Liam. But I'm pretty sure it was 2007 that Charlton got relegated when Alan Kirbishley left, and ever since then, Charlton have been the same.
No,
pretty sure it was 06 or 07.
For me, Charlton Athletic are more like Charlton Athletic. For me, are more for my lifetime. For what I've seen of them, I think they're more Championship club in Premier League.
Yeah.
Didn't Alan Pardew manage Charlton? Was it? Didn't he manage Charlton one time, Alan Pardew?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, I'm sure he did. Yeah, I'm sure he did. Yeah, Alan Pardew. I'm sure he managed Charlton.
Pardew's been everywhere. He's like a bad smell. He goes to every job. If it's going West Brom, Crystal Palace.
I can remember imagining it West Ham in 06, and after 06, I can remember imagining Southampton and Charlton before he came to Newcastle. I'm sure he did.
I'll be very, very careful how I talk about these managers because some of them are in the quiz. So I've got to be very careful.
Oh, well, there we go.
By the way, Pardew, is Pardew in there? Pardew might be in there, but it might not be the club I'm talking about.
You never know.
We'll see, won't we?
Because the one about the managers, I basically what I'll say is like a manager, I'll say the club in the year in which that manager was in. You've got to try and guess it. It might sound difficult, but it's not. You just got to try and cast your mind back, so to speak, in the past. Not too far in the past. I think I've gone as far as like 2000.
That's a bloody hell.
Right.
But some of them might still manage today, but some of them might have managed that club in the past and retired. I don't know. I think the quiz I'm doing on Sunday is going to be very interesting. I think it's going to be more of a challenge because, let's be truthfully honest, the last two were the first one was too quick, too easy, and the first one was just non-existent.
The man UFC was Pardew got Charlton relegated.
Bloody hell.
Oh, there you go then. I'm sure he did because once Kirbishley left, I'm pretty sure Charlton did go for Pardew. I'm pretty sure of it. So that explains it.
He done bad at West Brom, and they were pretty much down anyway. And then who was the other one? Crystal Palace on the downward spiral.
Yes.
Was it?
And then of course he went back. And then of course, was this before Newcastle? Was it when he went to Palace? Did he have two spells there? Or?
No, after Newcastle. Well, the fans were against him, so he walked. Crystal Palace is the club he supports, and they were in for him in the season. That he left Newcastle in a good position. We nearly got relegated from being ninth. He left when ninth.
Yeah, I remember now. Yeah.
I would guess who was the manager? John Carver. Honestly, right? He nearly relegated us. He left us around November time, I think it was, for Palace, and he done one big massive interview. The fans didn't like us, but I wanted to manage Crystal Palace, my hometown club. Carver came in. His first game I went to was the 3-3 against Burnley, and I'm thinking, yeah, we're gone. What we're in for? 9th place to nearly being relegated. Man, I think we got beat like 3-0 away to Leicester, and a few words were said, and it was gone toxic, like, wasn't it? It was going really bad.
Yeah.
Anyways, I think Lawrence is ready to come in. Does anyone mind leaving?
I'm going to leave. Yeah, let him in. I'm going to leave now, mate.
No problem.
See you, Jay. Hope you keep
Thanks
well.
very much for tuning in, and don't forget to check out Jay at Retro NUFC on YouTube. Help him on the road to 400. Thank you very much, Jay, for tuning in.
Yeah, bye, lads. Take care.
Jay, mate. Take it easy.
Take it easy.
Take care, mate.
Thank you for coming in.
Take care, mate.
I'll bring Lawrence in as now.
All right, guys.
How you doing, Lawrence?
Lawrence.
Right,
Here he is. You all right?
aye.
Good lad.
So, Lawrence, are you joined the international break, or do you feel it boring as fuck?
Peter, you didn't sound very optimistic.
Very. I'll be back in a second.
I tell you what, international breaks are just made worse when you can't even go when it's not even like you can't win a league game on the Saturday.
No.
I'll be watching Gateshead, but I was able to go to like a Northern League game.
Question though, for both of you, right? What's worse, Gareth Southgate football in England or Steve Bruce football in Newcastle? Do you know what I mean? We've lost it all. We've lost to a club due to crap football, pretty much, and we've lost international football with Gareth Southgate because he couldn't give two iotas about Newcastle. Oh, well, it's so dull at the minute, isn't it?
Steve Bruce, at least Gareth Southgate gets the results.
No, but what I can say with Newcastle, whatever happens and however bad we play, we'll never give up on them.
That's true. Yeah. I was going to say, show you. I don't know if you've seen the thingy that Newcastle Fans TV put out on YouTube about the stats so far.
Yeah, do you know what? If I'm not wrong, they'll all be rock bottom because of crap.
Well, this is what I'll bring up again. Like I was seeing the other guys before. Okay. Right, where is it? Right, here we are. These were the stats. Shall we found before. Darlow and Fernandez has played every minute this season so far. Only 32 players have played this season. Right, okay. Fernandez has cleared the ball the most with 44. Lascelles is joint 8 with 30 clearances. Lascelles is top for most goal line clearances with 2. Shelby has 1. Darlow has made the most saves in Europe with 39 saves. Darlow is one of only 5 goalkeepers to have saved a penalty this season. Darlow has the second most highest claims with 9 saves. And Darlow has the most punches with 10.
Do you know what that goes down to, though?
Bruce.
Sitting back too much and just soaking up the pressure. And when you do that, you put yourself under massive, massive pressure. And we do that from minute 1 all the way until the 90th minute. And the thing is with Steve Bruce, right, his lucky socks has got to wear it eventually. I mean, we lost to Southampton. He got found out well and truly, because you can't go to somewhere like Southampton, right, and just underestimate them, because Southampton, you're going to get absolutely knackered if you just you look back at that last game. What do we offer? Nothing. It's boring.
Well,
like ASM is just he just there's nothing there. I'm at the point now where I'm even criticising some of our better players, but then I've got to be careful because, let's be honest, there's no service.
Well, thankfully, I didn't watch the game last Friday, so that's all right for me.
It was bollocks. It was
I'm getting to the point now where it's just we're so predictable to watch, and I don't like that. You know, I want to see the lads have go teams work the goalkeeper. That's what you're paid to do. Like, yes, we know all teams are going to be different and have different styles, but that's not to say with the players that we've got, and not just to say that Steve Bruce, right? He's been given the most money out of any Newcastle manager under Mike Ashley. Yet we're worse in terms of we'll go forward.
Well, I said earlier before you came in the stream, we've got Chelsea next. We are fucked.
We're not getting nothing out of that game. Nothing. We're getting out. I know we've got a good record against them, but you look at the quality that they've brought in, and you look at the way they're playing now. We're hitting Chelsea at the wrong time. They're starting to gel. Havertz, goals. Who's the other one? Werner, goals. Ziyech, goals.
As well.
That's
exactly what I said.
Four, defending, the keeper, looking good.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said. I mean, the quality that Frank Lampard has brought in this summer has been fantastic. And the way we're playing, we're totally screwed for the next game. And, you know, if we're expecting anything, we're expecting a fucking arse kick, and that's what we're expecting.
We're gonna get a kick in, right? And do you know what it is? If that makes Steve Bruce wake up, then so be it. I don't want me to get kicked. Do you know what it is, though, right? I wouldn't be surprised. It would be such a Newcastle thing to do. Play Chelsea and beat them 1-0 and just soak up the pressure.
Yeah.
What if
like that season?
What if we got kicked?
Obviously,
what if we got kicked like
good?
What if we got kicked like 4-5-0 and Steve Bruce got sacked a few days later? What would you say to that?
Thank goodness. Thank the Lord, it's long overdue.
Well, Lehman UFC says sack Bruce and bring Eddie Howe in.
Eddie Howe at the minute's not going to want to manage any other football club because he needs to take a year out. He look exhausted, and when you've got a manager who's exhausted, that's not what we want. We want a manager who's got, you know, a passion, a desire. A manager who just wants to get a team playing football and working the keeper. Do you know what I mean? Not a manager who, with the quality we've got, we just sit back. This is the most frustrating thing. We've got so much potential on that side.
One thing I would say is Eddie Howe does have passion. He's a very passionate manager. Yes. However, before he left Bournemouth, you know the relationship he had with Ryan Fraser. And the squad that we have at the minute, we need Ryan Fraser to make those kind of runs, make those kind of assists for Callum Wilson. Maybe not just Callum Wilson, but any other players we've got as well. So if we're going to have any chance of attacking, then we need Fraser to make those kind of runs. So,
do you know what it is though with Eddie Howe, though, right?
Would he play Fraser?
Well, yeah, I think he knows. It's important. He knows them players. But the thing is, with Eddie Howe, I would look to be getting him next season. Even if we like scraped up and stayed up with, say, we had Steve Bruce, and let's say he got sacked around Christmas, and we had to have a caretaker in, right? I would take Eddie Howe for next season because he'd at least he'd be fresh to be ready to go. Do you know what I mean? Like, we need that type of manager, a young manager who's going to have his own philosophy. Right now, we don't have a philosophy. We don't have one.
Well, Liam says the next fixtures we've got, he thinks Chelsea will lose. Crystal Palace, that'll be a loss. Villa will be a loss. West Brom will be a draw. Leeds will be a loss. Fulham will win. Man City will loss, and Liverpool will be a loss.
It's, to be honest, the games are coming so thick and fast. They're so unpredictable. You just don't know what's going to happen. It's been such a weird start of the season. Even at clubs like Aston Villa are at the top.
Yes.
Yeah, and of course we play all three the three new sides in a row. So West Brom, Leeds, Fulham. I mean, I think the game we'll struggle with the most will be Leeds because they have come up
definitely
from 16 years from the Premier League. They've actually done quite well. Fulham and West Brom is a possibility we kind of get some points, but Leeds, it's a very questionable game. Is Leeds at home or away coming up? Do you know?
It's away.
It's away. So I don't fancy ourselves at Leeds, but West Brom and Fulham maybe, but Leeds away. I think they can probably beat us.
There's going to be. Let's be honest. There's no easy game in this Premier League. It doesn't matter who you come up against. You've got to be up for it. And I look at our lads, right? They all talk the talk, but they never walk the walk when it comes to the games. Like Southampton, Steve Bruce was bigging them up, like, we're ready to go. And then we got there, didn't do anything. And then he comes out with like, oh, but we're done in the first 5 minutes. I'm like, well, there you go. And then that's why we're getting beat, because it's people like you who don't come out and say the right things to your players.
Exactly.
Where, let's be honest, people talk about a plan B with Steve Bruce. Where's a plan A? Where's plan B, C, D, E, F, G? We don't have one.
If it's not a plan, or it's a plan that you may as well throw in the bin.
Yeah, I'm at the point now. I'm starting now to keep your gob shut, because I'm at the point now. I'm analysing every single conference that he says, and none of them add up. That he says, he just comes out with loads of rubbish, right? And he doesn't back it up.
As far as I'm concerned, Newcastle.
Honestly, I'm beyond raging, because Steve Bruce, right? If you've got nothing good to say, don't say it at all. That's exactly what I was taught when I was young, right? And everything he comes out with, he doesn't add up, and it doesn't. We're going to get better. We're not getting better. We're not getting better.
Could be 16th by mid-December or later.
That's what I predicted. I predicted 16th, and I got laughed at. Well, I'm sorry. Like, you look at the manager who you've got. The squad is capable of so much more, but with this manager, right? He's just getting lucky and lucky and lucky, because we're hitting teams on the counter attack, and they're just not clinical enough against us.
Do you think Steve Bruce has a Sunday League mentality as well?
Sunday League. I'm sorry, like, but I can name plenty of managers out there who could do a better job than Steve Bruce with this squad that we've got. By the way,
yeah, definitely.
What happened to the 4-2-3-1 formation, which was actually working?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I question. Why did we go away from that?
I think that's a good formation.
I was so excited to watch we play. We look so much better, but like now it's just like, oh, let's change it to 4-4-2. Actually, let's play 5 at the back. I'm sorry, that has to go. 5 at the back has to go. It's not good enough. This wing-back system.
We know from last season that the back 5 does not work. It's completely screwed. I mean, from what you said, Sharky, 4-2-3-1, I think it's a good formation. We've been play Lewis and either Mankior or Krath, Yedlin. We could play them with Lewis and Fernandez in the back. Shelby and Hayden, good, strong defensive midfielders. And then a 3 of Sir Maximan, Armoron, and Richie or Fraser. Fantastic.
Can I say something, though, right? 5 at the back. Who plays 5 at the back and still concedes goals?
Newcastle.
Newcastle. There you go.
Thing is,
so yeah,
it could work, but the players we've got suits more 4-2-3-1 rather than like 5-2-3.
That's what I said that last season. We played so much better. We actually won games. Like, that's what kept him in his job, right? The start of last season, we were awful. I went down to Leicester. We were knackered 5-0, right? The thing is, we lost against Norwich, and everyone was raging about that one. He changed it. The second half of last season to 4-2-3-1, right? And the players looked so much better. They were gelled. They were playing fluent football, and were banging in goals. St. Maximin looked unreal, and we're doing what we should have been doing at the start of last season. Had he done that at the start of last season, we could have actually been in the top 10. Now he's reverted back to 4-4-2 at the start of the season. Why change it to that formation? Yeah, we're asking for 2 up front. Doesn't work, so change it back. Oh no, I'll go with 5 at the back.
Well, I'm pretty sure if we stay
for me, right? He's asking for the sack. He really is. He's asking for it. And if he wants a sack, I'll sack him tomorrow if that's what he wants.
Well, Liam says if we stay up this season, we'll go down next season. Luck has run out for Sunderland. It will for us.
Well, I'm sorry, but we need this takeover. Any takeover we need as soon as possible. Like, I know we're not going to get one right now, but we need somebody to come in and buy this football club, because with Mike Ashley, we're going nowhere.
He says we could have a team like Liverpool's and still be in a relegation dogfight. It's down to your manager at the end of the day. If your manager's not motivating your players enough to go out there and get results, and that's it. Like Eddie Howe, right? A rejuvenated Eddie Howe would say to them in the dressing room, right, lads, play with passion. Like, you're playing in front of 52,000 fans every game. Just go out and give your all. You know what I mean? They'll love you. Even if you get beaten, you try. They'll love you for it. Oh, yeah, that's the main thing.
If you're just going to stand there and do nothing all game, then everything that we say is justified. Like, you see Jamal Lascelles coming out and saying things like, oh, how dare you have a go at our side. I'm sorry, but you're not even the captain anymore, mate. So you can keep your own gob shut.
Oh, he was terrible again.
He's not for me. I don't care what anybody says, but for me, Jamal Lascelles is not a captain. And I'll say it right now. Even if he was online, I'd tell him, you're for me, you're done.
I have to admit, I think Shelby has been quite a decent captain for us. I mean, he's been captain not many occasions, but every time he plays captain, we seem to put in good performances. So I think Shelby has what it takes to be a captain for us full time.
Jamal Lascelles, right, makes too many mistakes, and for me, for the last 2 seasons, he's been Mr. Liability. He just doesn't do anything. Even Fernandez has been better than Lascelles.
I think if we're going to get takeover, we'll be in the championship when that happens.
I don't know.
I'm not one of them to be relegated though.
Nah, I don't think he's going to want to. Really, I think the fair thing going down would actually make it harder for him to sell because he's gonna.
You look at the
book value goes down.
You'll get the asset.
One thing I would say is if we got relegated, the price difference from a Premier League club to a Championship club would certainly be a huge difference. So that is the question: would it be better for us to get relegated?
As much as we don't like the Premier League, right? We need to stay in the Premier League. That's important.
Exactly. And the problem is, even in the Championship, we could get a new owner, but it could be, somebody who wouldn't pass the Premier League test, and that's not who we want.
I'm sorry to say, if we get a takeover, Steve Bruce is not manager of this football club. I'm sorry, he's not.
Dave said he would sell Shelby. Would you sell him or not? No.
Nah, I would. Nah, he's just signed a new contract. Plus, I'd still persist with him. I know he has a few awful games, but don't all players have bad games?
Yeah.
Having that hernia injury, you might come back as a better player.
I like Shelby. I like to play him a bit. I like to play Shelby a bit more further forward.
Yeah, I think for me he does better after he's been dropped.
For me as well, Shelby is a great set piece player. So I think he's one of our key players who can deliver in corners, free kicks, long range free kicks, and he has the capability of delivering very long balls as well. So I wouldn't sell Shelby. No.
By the way, how Jeff Hendricks still starts over Hayden, I'll never know.
Exactly. Yeah, I think
I'd rather start Shelby than Hendrick any day.
Oh, definitely. I think for the Chelsea game, I'm thinking, well, maybe it's Hayden and Sean Longstaff as like midfield 2, and then maybe have Shelby on the bench if he's fit by then. But if not, then Matty on the bench again.
It's like another thing when Shelby's out and Sean Longstaff starts. He puts Sean Longstaff on corners and free kicks. Who's bloody awful?
You want the Longstaffs in the box. That's what you want. You want a designated corner kick taker. You want your better players in the box if we've got like a set piece.
I think Sebastian Almiron will be good at corners.
We're so predictable to watch.
Against Everton, he had Sean Longstaff on corners and free kicks. His corners and free kicks were absolutely shite. I mean,
he's not a corner. He's not a corner taker.
He played the ball too wide. That was absolutely dreadful from Sean Longstaff. He is not a set piece player. That's why we need Shelby back.
You need Sean Longstaff. Is Sean Longstaff or Matty the sort of players that you want around the box if something's happening? Like, for example, say a free kick comes in and the keeper fumbles it or something, you want someone at the end of it.
Yeah.
Another thing from Liam, he says the people who want to buy Burnley nearly liquidated Charlton and was involved in the Bury liquidation and on the verge of taking over Burnley. Is that?
I don't know what's going on with that.
I've never heard what's coming with that lately. For me,
Burnley need to take over, though. That's the most important thing for them. They need to take over.
I think the need
that's not the right takeover for them. No,
I think the need. I don't think they're the answer from what I've heard. And let's be honest, if the Premier League accept that one, then that just makes an absolute mockery of them.
Well, it just shows the law approved our takeover. But we'll just let that takeover happen and let those go down, and let them suffer.
I think Burnley are already one of the favourites to go down. I think Burnley are already one of the favourites to go down this season. I mean, they haven't performed well.
To go down along with Fulham and West Brom.
I like Sean Dyche as a manager, and he's done well with that Burnley side.
I think he'll leave them at some point this season or at the end.
Don't know. I think Burnley's going to get out of it. I do. There's always that one or two. Because seeing as with Burnley, right, they're always slow starters, but towards Christmas they always start to pick up. They do it every season. They've done it for the past 5-6 seasons, where they always start very slow. They're always around the bottom, then they always end up picking up. Look at last season. Last season, I think they were even worse off last season, and look where they finished, ahead of us.
Somehow.
And now, fair enough, they haven't got the same players, but Burnley, with Sean Dyche, are a bunch of grafters, and we don't seem to have that in our squad. By the way, the football's a bit dull at times, but let's be honest, if it gets results, it gets results.
If Sean Dyche leaves Burnley before the end of the season, then Burnley will definitely get relegated because they wouldn't be in the Premier League without him.
I think, to be honest, I think Sean Dyche is a type of manager. He would stay regardless. If they got relegated, he'd stay. But then at the end of the season, I think he would then assess his options. Would he want to go with Burnley in the Championship, or if a job offer comes up, I think he'd take it. I think he'd leave. He'd assess his options.
Liam says they failed the EFL checks.
Tells you what you need to know.
Well, the EFL, don't they just accept anybody? That's the last time I heard. You could be Barney the dinosaur, and let's be honest, he'll accept.
Exactly.
Whoever's in charge of the EFL, they're literally as corrupt as the Premier League.
They are.
Everywhere in England's corrupt in football, like the FA, the
football
Premier League,
nowadays.
the
I'm
EFL.
starting to like, especially the top flight football. Like obviously, I love Newcastle and that, but I'm starting to really lose like
Actually,
interest in it, like because they're just ruining it.
The most corrupted thing in football these days is the VAR. Oh shit! I better shut up. The FA might charge me.
I don't think VAR is the problem. I think it's the people using VAR.
The timing of the VAR.
Yeah. I think I better shut my mouth, or the FA might charge me. Shit.
Actually, lads, I think I better shut up about the Leeds goal then. Better shut up about that because apparently using your arm these days is offside. Even though you can't score with your hands, you score with your feet.
I was just going to mention that as well about
Crystal Palace.
Cost us fancy team points, man. Because I have
you do know, right? You do know whoever the referee was then in that Leeds Crystal Palace game. If he gave a goal, he would have been crucified. Even though by the letter of the law, before VAR come out, that's a goal.
I was going to mention as well.
I reckon when he checked that TV, right, and he gave an offside. I reckon he done it because he was pressurised. Yeah. For me, I would just give the goal. Me, even if I went against the VAR, I would have went against it. Me. Well. For me, you can't score with your arm. You can score with your feet. His feet was
exactly.
His feet was behind the defence.
Exactly. I was going to mention about Patrick Bamford's goal against Palace. That should have stood. 100%.
It's a goal.
Even I saw match of the day, and Gary Lineker was like, "Yeah, that should have stood." And we know what kind of legend.
I was pissing myself laughing. I was pissing myself. That was a goal.
I'm
sorry that they need to change it. They need to change that, right? They need to go and look at that right now, or even over this international break, and clamp down on like things like, if your toenails over someone's like foot or something, that's an offside. Sorry, that's not right.
Another thing I think we have to mention is the handball rule as well. I mean, we all admit against Spurs we shouldn't have had a penalty.
No, of course it wasn't.
Still,
but I'll take it.
You see them
because let's be honest, we're going to get it against us.
Exactly. I saw it about 5 years ago in the Man United game, the 3-3 in Bemba.
I loved it, me. I was just waiting for the Tottenham fans to rage. I was loving it.
One thing that's... Go on, Pete.
Liam's thoughts on the start Gated have had?
Well, it's not a very good start, but good news is they've got a few games in hand. Obviously a couple because the lads tested positive for COVID, and they'll have another game in hand soon because the game against York.
The game against York has been called off, hasn't it?
My assessment, I watched the Gateshead highlights, obviously because they do it on YouTube, and I tell you what, they got very lucky in the last game. They won 1-0, but Curzon Ashton, I think it was Curzon Ashton, they had some very good chances. For me, they should win that game on another night.
One thing I want to mention as well.
Not playing for them anymore. He's just manager now, isn't he?
What were you saying?
One thing I want to mention as well, talking about VAR, I watched the Champions League game between Chelsea and Rennes last week, and the player was going for the ball. It clipped his arm, and the referee still sent him off. I mean, you see some harsh decisions given against handball through VAR. I mean, it may clip down, but I don't think it's the player going for the ball. I think it's more ball going to arm. Do you think that should change as well?
More stricter in the Champions League, though. Any tiny little thing that you do in there to the Premier League, they're on it because it's a big competition.
I think
my opinion is, right, I can understand why he was given it, because if you're on a yellow card, you're already like risking it. You know what I mean? If you're going to do that, let's be honest though, before he got given another yellow card, he'd already committed like some foul sins. You can't keep the referee's their patience is just going to get tested.
I still think it's a bit harsh, really. If the ball is going to the arm,
it is. I get where you're coming from, but I just think for the Champions League, that's so like tough on decision. Like any little thing you do, even if you dive in the box,
that is one thing. I mean, the Champions League is such a tough competitive competition. So you see, I still think it's a bit harsh on the players' point of view.
The referees don't care though. They do it in the Europa Cup as well.
No.
Peter, what were you saying about the man? You said something about Gateshead, about a manager or something.
Do you think Gateshead are looking worse off when Williamson's not playing anymore?
I did tell you he was going to sit out though, didn't I, for the new season? Most time be the man. Nah, for me, this is where he learns. This is where, for me, I said it last season. Like, yes, he's a good player. Well, he was okay for us. He wasn't the greatest, but if you're going to set an example, right, at Gateshead, take yourself out of the limelight. Give more of the kids a chance. You know, from the college. You know, they all get promoted from the college, don't they? Right. Let him. I think Williamson now. This is where he learns. This is where he needs to get his sort of sight together, his philosophy, and I think it might take a bit of time. But you know what it is, right? If Gateshead, I'm not expecting him to get promoted, but I'm willing to persist because I think he is trying to build something. It's just going to take a bit of time And I hear his interviews, and you can see the passion. And I love a manager with a bit of passion.
Yeah.
When Gateshead lose, he's hurt, and I like that.
I'm going to read a comment there from Liam, and he says, if fans were allowed in, including away games, would you go away to away games to watch Gateshead?
Away games, I don't tend to do a lot of them unless it's like local, like York or something like that. But anytime I can get to Gateshead, maybe on a Saturday afternoon or on a Tuesday, I love the midweek games at Gateshead. I don't know why. I love going to watch.
I would.
Yeah, I would love to when they got the win. I mean,
all of us lads should all go back when it's safe.
Even the half an hour metro journey back.
Yeah, exactly.
Personally, I would love to go watch. I would love to go watch Gateshead against York. Because Shockey, when you went to York with Peter and Jamie not long ago, did you go to the York City ground?
We did, but we couldn't really get anywhere like sort of in it. It was sort of boarded off.
I was at the
but you saw the location though where you went to the ground. So I think that would be a good lad out. You know, go to the ground, watch the game, get the York for a few beers. You know, get the train back. I think that'd be ideal. That so if Gateshead went down to York, I would love to go to that game.
Yeah, I went last season, 1-1 draw at Bootham Crescent, but
it's gone now though.
I'm glad I moved into a new ground because kickoff I remember was delayed by 15 minutes. Some issues with the ground. I'm like, no wonder they're moving ground. Home game, it was a shame that got cancelled because of the COVID.
What got me watching Gateshead more than anything, I mean, obviously this is before I knew who yous were, is when Gary Mills was there. Like he said something on YouTube, he put a message out and I watched it and he goes, come and support Gateshead, you never know what you're missing. And I tell you what it is, right? I went to go and watch him and he was right. He nearly had Gateshead in. But honestly, since then, I've been so like connected with Gateshead and the fan base. Like some of them know us, not all of them, but it's such a well-run family club. I know, fair enough, the last couple of years it's been sort of a bit down the dumps, but the Gateshead, I love watching them because I feel the passion. I do. I like it.
Yes.
The same with the women. Same with the women's team as well, Sharky. The Newcastle women's
passion.
Yeah,
I love it. I love a game where there's a bit of passion and you can actually enjoy it. Because if you go to games and there's nothing there, I lose interest very quick.
I mean, who will ever forget my first Newcastle women's game?
11-0.
Yep.
11-0.
I know, Dan. We were playing pretty bad the last game. We got through. Where were you?
I was at work before we closed.
Yeah,
but you know what it is? It is a shame though. It is a shame that we can't actually go and watch them at the minute because that was the sort of things that were lifting spirits. I know there was no like men's football to watch and that, but I mean it's only a month, isn't it? I mean we've got 3 weeks to go. We'll be back, man. We'll be back next month.
Yeah, I think we'll be back. Do you think this lockdown will only last for a month?
Yeah, I believe. Yeah, well, the news at the minute's all come out looking good.
I think Forrest has hinted on it. Plus, luckily for me, students have had like the clarity to wait till the end of Christmas, the end of this term, like come home.
Well, I don't know if you heard the news that Dominic Cummings is now out.
Yeah, I've seen that.
I don't give a shit. I couldn't be any more disinterested like in national football.
5 months too late, but Daddy's gone. Oh, Peter, you remember seeing that Dominic Cummings not welcome when we were in Durham on the bank holiday?
Oh, yes.
I couldn't make actually do that with Steve Bruce.
Well, this is a good question from Lee. What's the atmosphere like at Gateshead? I've done Gateshead at home with Leighton Orient, but not away.
It's good.
Think the Gateshead atmosphere is really good. It's really
very good. Well, I've been going under Gary Mills and we're getting 1,500, but then obviously that went down as he left. But I feel like with the new ownership in, obviously they're all like local people. I feel, obviously like Rooney the Goat and that. I just feel like they're starting to get back to those days again. Like it's going to take a bit of time, but even if they don't get 1,500, they're getting nigh on 1,000 people. That's really good for like football. But it's Gateshead. Like Gateshead's still like a well-known area. People know about Gateshead. It's just about getting the fans in. But let's be honest, I can't really grumble with the football. I think it's passionate. Like it's down to earth football. The fact the players play for the club. But you can tell at the minute with the form they need the supporters back.
Yeah, they do.
That's what makes football really. That's what makes football. I mean, it's not the same. It's not the same over the last several months without the fans in. But at least we managed to watch it. But still, even without the fans, it's just not the same.
It's been I can't wait for the day when we start getting the fans back because at the end of the day, that's what makes me happy when you see all the fans. We're all in it for the same thing.
Because
definitely,
when we beat the Newcastle wins, we've had behind closed doors. I'm always looking at it and like, oh man, I just really wish I was there. And similar with Gateshead getting that win on Tuesday night.
Well, this is the thing, right? With non-league football. So, say for example, you go to work during the week. Sometimes you might have a bit of time. Like, say you go and watch Newcastle during the weekend, and then say they're not playing. If you've got like a spare maybe Tuesday or Wednesday, I just go and watch them. Me, like Gates said, I always used to go and watch them on a Tuesday or Wednesday night because it fills in the night, if you know what I mean. Like I used to finish work at like 6, and I used to go and watch Gateshead like straight away. He has disappeared. Probably got disinterested. But I used to watch Gateshead straight after work because it just filled in your evening, and it was such. Even if they lost, it for me it didn't matter. It was just a fact you got out and you went to go and watch some football.
Oh, he's back.
Do you know what I mean? Like some people like, oh, actually. Do you know what it is, right? We the good old Tuesday nights when you used to go and watch Gateshead, and then everyone used to huddle around the TV and watch the Champions League. Like now, when all the scores were coming through on Sky Sports, oh, there's been a goal at Chelsea, Jeff, and everyone used to have a look. But the thing is, the Gateshead game used to finish in the 90th minute, right? And everybody wouldn't leave. Everyone would just go in the concourse. Everyone would just be watching the TVs, like to see what the scores and that were.
Oh, because I remember I seen you to get me at a Tuesday night game against Harrogate, and
when do you never not see me at a Gateshead game, Lawrence? I'm always there. I'll try a bit.
I think didn't I mention like how the Newcastle under 21s were getting on at Doncaster in the trophy?
Yes, I'm always pretty much there. I try and make an effort for these non-league sides.
Thing is, I remember we actually beat Doncaster 3-1 with our under 21s. Sunderland only beat them with their first team by 1 goal. We beat them by 2 with our under 21s.
If Sunderland they'll get the wang socks out every time they win a game, do they?
Aye.
Well, Liam just said best and worst fans you've seen at Gateshead.
Oof, I've never had a bad experience, to be fair, with fans when I've been there. I think every time I've been, it's always been quite fairly decent.
Yeah.
Like I don't think Gateshead have anything with any fans really, unless it's Blythe. No. But even so, like I went to go and watch Newcastle versus Blythe, and Gateshead obviously lost 2-1, but there was no like friction from where I was.
No.
Liam said, I got my Leyton Orient season ticket today, and I'm hoping to go back and soon to see my Leyton Orient mate again. Yeah,
I think that's a good sign that more fans at more levels are going to get into games if like League Two clubs are handing out season tickets. I think Gates are handing out season tickets soon.
You see, I just watch them regardless. I just think it's like even us, Peter, when we were going during the summer, even like for the pre-season friendlies, it just gets out.
Yeah, it definitely does, doesn't it?
Because that was a decent night against Middlesbrough. Lost 3-1, but
there was Harrogate as well. There was a couple more of them as well.
I wasn't at Harrogate because I was on holiday, but I checked out match.
We went Harrogate, weren't we, Sharky?
Yeah, it wasn't. I think it was the day we signed Joe Linton as well. Or was it the same night? One of the nights.
Yeah.
When UFC, you mean the atmosphere?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. It's a difficult one. I think Warrington, I remember, were pretty good. About 6 years ago in the FA Cup, they just beat Exeter.
I think you need the sort of clubs like FC United and Manchester and that coming up because they've got some passionate fans down there.
I remember the game against Oldham Athletic we went to Gateshead.
Yes.
I was telling you to say go to that game because you never know Gateshead should win.
Yeah.
Oh, unlucky. They were very
I think
unlucky.
they should win it. They should have had a replay.
Gateshead for me were the better side. They had Oldham all over the park.
Oh, that goal from Agnew.
That was I've vlogged it. That was actually a good vlog. That was.
Aye.
Did you ever see that one there, Dan? You want to watch it on YouTube?
I always watch anything on football, mate.
And honestly, it was a really good afternoon. Like everyone, obviously Gateshead 6th tier. I think it was either way. Oldham were League Two, and I tell you what, honestly, for me, Gateshead should win that. That had more than enough chances.
Aye.
Oldham brought a few hundred fans. I don't know how many. They brought a few fans.
But as I said many times, you've got to take your chances.
And let's be honest, on the way back to the Metro, there was no problems. Like Oldham fans, Gateshead fans walking back, like no friction, no nothing. Everything was good.
That's one thing you want to see in football as well. I mean, no bad friction between the fans. I mean, if fans come to see each other game, and all that.
Do you know what though, Dan? I don't think it is anymore. I don't think fans are like that. Like every time we go to a Newcastle game at home and you see the away fans, nothing ever happens unless it's Sunderland.
That's one thing you want to see though, but you never see it now, which is a shame.
Yeah, I remember it happened when we played Villa and Leeds in the Championship.
Apart from like Leeds, Villa, and Sunderland, I think every other fan base they don't really go after it. Like you go to the home games and I feel alright. Like I don't think there's ever been a home game where I felt like we're on the threat.
This is an interesting one from Lehman. He says, "Would you like to see Gateshead in League Two? Can you see it happening one day?" Yes, I can.
100%. I think Gateshead have got the stadium. Gateshead have got the fans. They've got the foundation in place.
Exactly.
I just think it's Gateshead. When I watch Gateshead, it's a work in progress every season.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. I think I'm willing to persist with Mike Williams. It might go hard, but persist.
If I'm correct, I think in 2015, Sunderland, Middlesbrough, and Gateshead all went to Wembley, and all three clubs lost. Gateshead reached the playoff final. I'm sure they lost to Coventry.
Sunderland and
2015.
Gateshead went in 2014, and Gateshead lost to Cambridge. But yeah, I do think they'll get in the Football League one day, but it will take time.
It's just
as Kevin Keegan said. As Kevin Keegan said, I would love it when they reach the Football League. I would love it for Gateshead. Exactly. I think it'd be such a good thing for the club and for the town.
At the end of the day, Gateshead still attract decent players, like, even though they're in the 6th tier. Like, they're still getting decent players.
Absolutely, yeah.
They can still keep a hold of some of the players that are like, there's a few players in there, that Gateshead side, right, that were looking to get Gateshead into the Football League. They went down in the 6th tier and they still managed to keep hold of them.
There you go.
Exactly.
I do. I think with Gateshead, right? I think with Gateshead and Mike Williamson, he's a good manager. Even if it goes wrong, he's from up here, but he's not from up here. But he's played for Newcastle. He knows what it means for the fan base. Like, Gateshead fans are no different than Newcastle fans. Like, they're all in it for the passion, like in it to do well, like to see Gateshead do well. I'd say the same for Blythe. I'd say the same for all North East clubs. I want them to do well.
Aye.
When you say about the Newcastle fans and the Gateshead fans combined, I completely agree with you. I completely agree.
There's been a Gateshead fan and a Newcastle fan. We're all the same, and for me, they're all the same blood.
I mean, look at us. I mean, we're maybe Newcastle fans, but we still go to watch the Gateshead games. So there you go.
Yeah.
Play black and white, so it's fine. Or white and black, it doesn't matter. It's still the same thing.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
I can't wait for the first Gateshead game back.
Exactly.
And obviously Newcastle, but then.
I can't wait for one day when Newcastle and Gateshead have an official match against each other. That would be the best day.
That was always a thing, but actually, let's be honest, Steve McLaren nearly lost us that game off with our first team. We won 1-0, but Steve McLaren, we nearly got beat off Gateshead. I was there. We nearly got beat. We beat them 1-0, but how on earth did we not beat Gateshead more than 1-0? Oh, because we were crap. And then I followed that same season, we got relegated.
We got beat off York 2-1, and I had a try to score for them. That should have. Oh, and we conceded, I think, 4 against an MLSB side. That should have told you.
Well, that's Steve McLaren for you.
It is, isn't it?
No, but honestly, obviously looking forward to watching Newcastle. But I've got a good feeling we'll probably get back in around March, April time. That's what I'm predicting.
That'll be alright.
Yeah, that's what I think as well.
I'm hoping
the thing is, what we're watching, I don't know. It could be a mid-table side. It could be could be in the relegation zone. It could be top 10. I don't know.
2 games I'm really hoping I can get to this season. West Ham, because it's my birthday weekend.
Is it at home?
Yeah, and then Man City. It's a midweek game. It's the second last home game. The 3 days before Sheffield United, the last home game.
I think what they're going to do, though, they'll let fans back in around March, April time, but they'll just ban away fans. They'll just let the home fans in. Just for now, just for this season and next season, they'll start letting them back in.
Yeah.
One thing I have to mention as well, it won't be a full. One thing I have to mention as well, it won't be a full 52,000, maybe about 20 to 30,000.
Let's be honest, the season's a write-off. Season's a write-off.
Probably that, but if I could get to 1 game, that'd be brilliant for me, mental health.
For me, definitely. But I'm just saying, for me, like, season's right off. Let's start afresh next season, whatever happens.
Yeah.
Back and enjoy the game.
Aye.
By the way, in order for this to happen for next season, for letting all fans in, the Euros are going to have a massive say in how successful that goes.
Aye.
Do you think England can reach 4 in the Euros next season? Well, next year?
I think we can, but...
It all depends who Southgate picks, because to me, there's a lot of favouritism with England.
I'm actually going to write an article on which Newcastle players could be at the Euros for Newcastle Fans TV. I'm skipping all the England players because we know Southgate will never pick a Newcastle player. Exactly.
None of them. No. That's what I mean. That's what I mean. That's what I mean. Taking the piss. Like, none. It's Gareth, let's be honest. It's Gareth Southgate. Do you know what I mean? He doesn't care. Like, but in terms of how far we're going to progress, didn't get us wrong. We've got a chance of winning the bloody thing. We should be, but let's be honest. We've got France in there. You've got Italy. You've got countries improving. I'm not saying that England aren't improving, but just the way we play is just a bit dull at times. We're going to be a bit more expressive.
It's getting dry. That's why I can't be asked for the international breaks.
By the way, by the end of it, we'll be saying 2 words. What if?
Aye.
Well, Liam says even if fans return in March, but it will only be for season ticket holders.
I'm thinking that as well.
For me, I'm not bothered. Like, at the end of the day, get the season over and done with. Next season will be so much better. Trust us.
Exactly.
This is
It doesn't matter if we're a Premier League or a Championship club. For me, it doesn't matter.
We're gonna Newcastle go win the Carabao Cup because there's no fans there. Mark my words.
We're going to win that.
Lee Taylor says, "Do you think that England?" Do you think Lee says? Do you think that England need to move out of Wembley and play matches on the road, such as St James's Park?
Absolutely.
Yes. Because I couldn't feel any more disconnected with England. That's why we're not bothered. That's why we're not interested when international games come around. Because this is the fan. I'm not going to speak for all Newcastle fans because some of them are passionate about England, but I can speak for a majority. We feel so disconnected with England. Like they don't really care about us. They go and play at Leeds. They go and play at Villa. They go and play. They go as far as Manchester, but for us, they have the cheek to go to Sunderland, but they can't come to St James's Park. Wow.
Liam.
I think just playing at other Premier League grounds. I remember when they played Costa Rica at Ellen Road. The atmosphere was so much better than at Wembley.
No, I'd love to go to Wembley, but you got to remember, for us, it's too far away. A lot of the games, it's too far to travel. It's too much money. Do you know what I mean?
Hey, maybe we could get to the game at Hampton Park in the group stages.
Don't get us wrong, I've got the money to go, but you think if you're a passionate England fan and you live up here, you can't go all the time. It's going to cost you too much money.
Croatia against Czech Republic, maybe for me, and getting Croatia shirt.
Peter,
here's
the thing for me. Peter, he's one of the biggest Metallica fans ever, and he even went down to London to go and see them. So
that's what I mean. You can't do the thing. At the minute, you can't do the things you enjoy. By the way, I've been to Wembley for a tour. It's amazing. It's huge.
I did for my 11th birthday.
I went in 2018, or was it 2019? No, 2018. Summer of 2018. It was great. But the thing is, I'd love to go and watch a match there. But you know what the thing is, you couldn't go back to back though. Cost you too much money. Not especially up here in the northeast. There's no here.
Well, as I say, Newcastle will probably win the cup. Since there's no fans, so we'll get Wembley, no fans. We just win it in an empty stadium.
Yeah. No, we'll parade it. We'll get the 39 and 40 bus and we'll parade it.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna say Liam said I'm good. I can't go Salford away with Leyton Orient because they usually have a good atmosphere. As we sing National League Champions, you'll never sing that.
Did the Salford fans sing plastic? Sorry.
Yeah, I'm still gutted. I couldn't attend the Man City game in the FA Cup, even though we lost. I'm just thinking, if fans were there, it would have been. And Steve Bruce's tactics were negative, but if fans were there, I just feel it would have been a lot different.
Negative is predictable, and you can't get any more predictable than Steve Bruce. Actually, actually, you can. You can say Roy Hodgson. I mean, bloody hell, he's dull as anything. How he still gets jobs, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, Liam also says, does anyone play Football Manager? If you do, who will you manage on Football Manager 21? He manages Derby. Does anyone play Football Manager?
Nah, play FIFA, me.
I do, but I might not as much this year because FIFA 21 is probably I'd say it's probably the best FIFA so far in years. I know the updates.
You're an Ultimate Team now, aren't you, Lawrence? You're getting an Ultimate Team now.
Yeah, and also with FIFA 20. I got sacked off Seattle after 3 games because the chairman's an absolute idiot.
Sorry, I shouldn't laugh.
Sorry, he makes Puzzle, what's it on it? Look kind.
That is such an EA thing to do. You get 3 games charged. Oh, actually, you're sacked.
No, it was on the Football Manager.
Oh, who are you? Who are you? Are you that Frank de Boer from Crystal Palace? I'm sure he lasted a little bit longer. Did he? How long did he last?
Yeah. I mean, somehow. Yeah, 4 league games, and somehow he's got the Holland job.
Denny's remember him, that Frank de Boer? He was awful, him.
Aye. I knew he was going to be terrible because of what he did at Inter. Because, yeah.
I'll tell you what makes me laugh most of all, FIFA 21, when you concede a goal and the commentators say, "Oh, that's shocking, that's poor defending." Well, FIFA 21, I made the defending so shit, so what can you do?
Oh,
Yeah.
don't. Oh, I've been on such a little rage for the last 5. I feel so bad about it. Like, you know, when I go into a group chat and I say it, it's so bad. I don't know. They keep updating the game, and I'm getting frustrated because 2 weeks ago I was absolutely fine playing, 84, 85 rated sides and beating them all of a sudden. Now, I've got a player on the ball and I'm getting surrounded by with 6 players, and then all of a sudden they're on the ball, I can't tackle them.
Even Sergio Ramos.
I tell you what happened to me today.
I had him on loan on the Ultimate Team.
I'm surprised I've got a controller.
Yeah,
But
I tell you what happened to me today. I tell you what happened to me today. I played a 75 rated squad. I played a 75 rated squad on Ultimate Team, world class difficulty, and I lost 3-0. I just couldn't get forward. They just wouldn't let me go forward. So
what rating was your team?
And then my defenders played like Newcastle played like a bunch of pussies. So
what's your rating? What's your team rating? What was your squad rating?
My team was 80. My Bundesliga team 85 rated. Lewandowski up front.
It's bad. The game knows exactly what you're doing. As soon as you go into the game, you know exactly what's going on. Actually, I've watched a few of Peter's games. Actually, when you've done a few live streams, I've seen he gets scripted a couple of times. I know you haven't noticed it, but I've noticed a couple of the opposition when they're scoring goals. I'm thinking, how on earth has he done that?
What's I say? I actually won my games today. I was 5-2 up in the game with me Liga inside. Somehow I got pegged back to 5-5.
It's so bad. The game, honestly, I just lose. I don't even bother raging it anymore. I just go. I just laugh.
The only reason I didn't rage quit was just to get the coins.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I used to do that a few times, but now I'm just actually, I can't be asked. I'm already in the 80th minute. Let's just play.
Well, I'm just going to read a couple more comments out here, lads. Ari lads, just on how are you all coping with lockdown number 2?
I'm all right about it. To be fair, this time around, it's not really as strict. I just think at the end of the day, we got so used to it in March. If things slowly eased up, and then all of a sudden we're going back to it. For me, it's only a month.
Yeah, and if anything, is it really a lockdown?
This time.
Are you key working, Peter?
And at least the football's on as well, so that's all right. The football's
at the end of the day, do you know what? At the end of the day, though, right? We've got obviously our own group chat. We all talk as well. That's the most important thing. Everyone just chats and talks. Sometimes I might over talk. I think we all over talk. Let's be honest, but that's fine. That's good. Let's banter. That's what you want.
At least this time round, obviously we've got sport to watch. I can still go to places I can still go to Subway get a sandwich or something.
You know what though?
And I'm still going. And I'm still in uni, the usual timetable.
The one thing that I do every single day, right, which I know a lot of people don't do, go for a walk. Go for a walk for about an hour. Just go somewhere, get out. Just go. Honestly, I'm quite fortunate, right, because I can do a circular on mine for about an hour, but actually hit the quayside. It's so good.
Because in October when I went to a walk, went to walk just to make sure I've seen every single metro station on the map because South Hill was the last one, and I've seen every single metro station. I've either passed it, got off there, or got on there.
Hold on, what I was up to? Got a question. Liam says, when I got sacked on Football Manager with Leighton Orient, I was with the Sunderland job. Don't tell me you didn't took it, did you, Liam?
Of course he did.
Liam's definitely taking the Sunderland job. Sam Allardyce, pure desperation. He went from Newcastle to Sunderland, pure desperation.
Well, surely he shows Steve Bruce loyalty.
And Steve Bruce. Let's be honest, that's who Newcastle attract these days, ex-Sunderland managers.
Man. Newcastle versus Orient was a normal fixture in the 80s. Bloody hell.
Well, yeah, you've got to remember. You got to remember Newcastle were a second division side in that back then.
I think
really where we are now.
Something that I think Leighton Orient beating them was the last time we played in a game for 2 points because it used to be 2 points for a win.
That one there, that question there, I'm not going to say for my own protection what job I do. I would never tell anybody what job I do because it's for your own safety.
Yeah, that's a good thing. I'll just tell. I just work in admin. That's it. But I'm not giving.
Yeah, I would never tell anybody where I work.
Actually,
no. Liam, UFC's my mates always wind me up about 600 people. Well, that was only a friend.
It's a friendly game, man. We got hammered off Middlesbrough, but let's be honest, it's what you do in the season that counts.
Yeah.
UFC says, how far is the stadium alive from the Sunderland University?
Right. Lawrence. The campus I'm at, which is actually pretty close to it, 17-minute walk. But if I look at the other campus, So 17 minutes from the campus I'm at. From the other one, it's a 24-minute walk.
Lawrence, how would you get on with them?
All right. I mean, I don't see that many, to be fair. Well, I don't really like. Actually, some of them recognize us from past experiences. But I'm more likely to see students than normal people.
He's just saying something about me walks. Like, that's what I do, to be honest. I just think at the end of the day, if I've got a spare hour or so, I'll just go and get some exercise. It doesn't matter where it is. Sometimes I might even go further afield. Like, I'll go around the coast and that. It doesn't bother us. Just get out and do something rather than just sitting around.
Aye. Oh, well, that's a good idea, that. Definitely. Liam says, no, he took the Sheffield Wednesday job instead of Football Manager.
And talk about someone's been given the Sheffield Wednesday job today. Tony Pulis.
Replacing Gary
Monk. He does. Let's be honest. He's a bit like Mark Hughes. He does get a bit of rough press, but let's be honest. If there's any manager that's going to take that club forward, it's him.
Yeah, he's suited for the championship.
I think he's been.
Bruce.
The thing is, I made a mistake. I thought it was 2 years.
Yeah,
it's the same with Nottingham Forest. It's the same with Nottingham Forest when they applied Chris Hughton. They're going to go forward.
Yeah.
The thing is, like with someone like Chris Hughton, you got like Tony Pulis, that they're all good for the championship. Like, obviously, I think Peter said that earlier on. I think you're right about that. But that's not to say though that Tony Pulis, with a bit of backing, couldn't get Sheffield Wednesday at the Premier League.
I think what was I going to say? I think you apply them in the championship to get into the Premier League, and maybe at some point in the Premier League you're solidified, but the football's still. Then you think, all right, time to go. And then you're getting a more attractive manager, like a Graham Potter at Brighton.
See, I'd say Graham Potter's been quite lucky because I still think he's a little bit championship as well.
Yeah, I'm still annoyed that their only win of the season so far was 3-0 to James Park. That will change.
Yeah, but the thing is with Tony Pulis, and fair enough, he does get that rough press. But I just think with him, he's had a year out. If there's anyone who's going to look to get you promoted, I'm not saying Sheffield Wednesday are going to get promoted. They could do via the playoffs if they go on a real push this season. But to give it like a season or two, he could be that type of manager. Like, I look at somebody like what's his name? Who's just left? Gary Monk. Full of excuses. Like, what's he done in his career? Like, every club he's been at, he's been part of scandals. He's been sacked. And he come out and put a statement out this week. He goes, "Oh, I was surprised that I got given the sack." How could you even be surprised? You don't last very long. That's something you hear from Steve Bruce. Oh, I was surprised.
Aye.
How are you surprised? You've been given numerous chances. You're not good.
Question from Lee. It's related to you, Lawrence. What are you doing at uni, Lawrence? I was interested in doing an IT course.
Funny old thing, I'm doing IT.
There you go.
Lawrence, can you do a bit of IT on how to make EA Sports better? about the gameplay, because the gameplay is not very good. No, it's okay. It's okay. It's just certain parts of it need changing.
All right.
No, it's okay, but certain parts of it need patching up because they've made it worse again.
Hi.
Yeah.
One thing you have to do, Lawrence, if you get a job at EA Sports, just remember you got to make Sunderland just a half-star team. That's what you have to do.
Liam says promotion will be the relegated teams.
I think he referred to Bournemouth, Norwich, and Watford. That's a difficult one.
Norwich, I'm not too sure about, but actually Bournemouth and Watford have done quite well. To be fair,
yeah, Rent have done well, but I think they're getting found out now. I mean, you don't lose 3-0 at home twice in a week if you're going to get promoted.
Thing is, have any of you watched Ben Foster's YouTube channel? Oh, honestly, check it out. It's great. I'll send it in the group chat. No, he literally records himself in goal. He records his full day as a goalkeeper, even going behind the scenes.
Just want to say, I've got the championship table. I've got the championship table up now, and Reading are top, Watford second with Norwich.
I think Reading will
City
come
and
down.
Swansea, Middlesbrough there as well. So
yeah,
I think Middlesbrough are definitely improving a bit from last season. I mean, last season when they had Jonathan Woodgate, they didn't have
Neil Warnock, he's good for that.
And ever since Middlesbrough appointed him with
Neil Warnock, he's proven for that league.
But the thing is that the championship's so unpredictable. Anything can happen. It's the early days.
Yeah, exactly. You look at Cameron QPR 6-0 and then getting beat 2-0 at home by Wolves, who lost 4-0 to Barnsley.
And one thing I'm going to mention as well is go on, Pete.
Liam says, I still don't think Steve Bruce is a Newcastle fan. He slated us after the 5-1 win against Sunderland.
He's a Man United fan, man. He's a Man United fan.
He was good for that team, wasn't he?
I just want to mention as well, when me, Pete, and Jay were talking earlier about how competitive the championship these days, and I'm sure you'd agree with me, Sharky, because we spoke about it.
100%. But like I've seen it with Rafa Benitez, but only just won the title last year. Actually, I'll never forget the last day of the season where Brighton, the Brighton promotion scarves, title scarves. We would cheers, Miller. We don't like it, but
that was the day. Yeah, man.
That was brilliant. What a day that was. What a day! I was at that game. What a day that was.
Aye.
And I think over the last few championship seasons, there's been at least one club that's got close, so into the playoffs. That's never been the Premier League, and they've been so close to promotion over the last.
I'll tell you one club who could do it. Who could do it, right? And they only just got promoted last season. They stayed up by the skin of the teeth. It's a club who I think could get in the playoffs, and they've got a new manager, Barnsley. I don't know why. They've started to string some results up. The football at the minute is just wow. Connor Chaplin's gonna bang them in.
I have them written off for relegation because the rain fixtures, but they get the win.
No! Don't ever underestimate the championship because you can win a couple of games and you lose a couple and you're back to square one.
Lee Taylor says,
I was going to say that I think the championship is the most. I think the championship is the most competitive and most longest league in the whole football division. So you just never know who's going to win.
It is
really, to be honest.
Yeah, well, I'm going to read just some more comments. Steve Bruce is a Man United fan. He watches them at St James's Park after the match, even if they're on Sky.
Yeah. Tell you what it is, though, going back to the championship, the two games I was at both of them. The two like sort of worse off clubs at the bottom. It was Wigan on the Saturday, beat them 2-1, and then Burton. I mean, yeah, we should have won by more, but we really slogged those games out in the end, didn't we? It was coming towards the end of the season. We're slogging them out. At the start of the season, let's be honest, I think we're better them, like 5 or 6 each, but we're slogging result. That just goes to prove how competitive it was. Even Burton, who coming from League One, even they stopped up. They were competitive right the way through.
People were saying we're going to hammer these at the start of the season, then they did really well.
But let's be honest, out at the Pirelli Stadium, I could have went there. I had a ticket, but obviously I had to work, so I had to sell it. But we beat them 2-1. But that was a tough game. It was around Christmas time. We don't do very well in the small grounds. We don't do very well.
I look at that Rochdale game.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you know, was it just before Christmas? The Pirelli Stadium, Burton Albion versus Newcastle. That could have been a stinker for us. Could have easily been.
Thoughts on the Rafa Bruce's debate? I think we need to move on from Rafa now.
Yeah. I love Rafa, but at the end of the day, we can't change it. It's in the past.
Trying to move on from him. I mean,
Oh yeah, because I think that's a team that they could go up because pre-season they beat us, they beat Leeds, and in the Carabao Cup they've already beaten Villa and Wolves.
Stokes are putting Blackburn or another one as well. Blackburn.
If we get past Brentford, I do not want Stoke in the semi-finals. I'm just going to put it out there.
We're going to get Stoke.
David, he says Pochettino job, and Liam says
ignore it.
He's not. Yeah, well, Pochettino Man United could happen, but in Newcastle, no chance.
No, it's not happening.
Nah, no chance.
We've got to have a little bit of realism.
I would have Michael O'Neill than Eddie Howarth. I think he would be a better manager.
He's in the championship for a reason.
Yeah,
well, by the way, I'm not saying he's an awful manager, but he's gone from managing his nation to Stoke. They're in the championship.
Well, I hope he's an ex-Newcastle player, but I think he needs to prove himself first.
I mean, there's so many questions asked. If Steve Bruce got sacked, who would you bring in? That's the one question you've really got to ask. That's the $1 million question. Who would you bring in?
It sounds mad to say, but I've always said, being realistic now, Sean Dyche. Again, but I'll do me utmost again from Burnley.
I wouldn't mind.
I would. No, hands down. For me, this guy, right? He deserves money. He deserves money. And how Steve Bruce gets all this money and we're worse. People say, "Oh, Sean Dyche football is not very good," but you got to remember that the squad that they've got, the money that they spend, that reflects it in their performances. He gets the best out of what he's got. He would play better attractive football, right, if you had better players around him. It just says a lot, right, that he had to go and get Stevens, right, from Brighton. I think he was on a free. He was gutted, but he didn't want to sound gutted. But I think Sean Dyche, for me, is that type of manager, right, who I think could do very well here.
He could do, yes, definitely.
Yeah,
Well, guys,
he
I'm
could
going
do.
to
He
read.
could do. I think he could.
I think I'm going to read 2 more comments, and then I might end the stream from there. So,
Yep.
Liam says, before the season, I predicted Brentford, Norwich, and Millwall for promotion. Brentford.
I'd like Brentford to come up, kind of. Maybe it's like
They were close last season, so I think it's not impossible for them to do it again.
Nah, but I think for me, they've sold too many of their better players. I think they're going to end up slipping out. I think they'll be about 9th or 10th.
Yeah, possible.
Especially if Ollie Watkins as well.
What I will say, if they come up and Ivan Toney doesn't do so well, then that's going to prove all these people saying, "Oh, we shouldn't have sold him." Wrong, because like everyone's up.
Nah, Brentford for me had that. For me, they had that chance on the last game of the season. All that to do was win it. They would have been a Premier club, but then selling all the better players, you can't keep selling all your better players and managing to get in the playoffs. So I think it's going to catch up on them eventually. Yes, they've got a nice stadium, they're a good manager, but for me, they're getting to that point now where they're going to start slipping back to mid-table.
That's it.
Liam said if Blackpool and Huddersfield could do it, why not Millwall? But
I don't want to see Millwall anywhere near the Premier League. No thanks.
Oh man,
imagine them against West Ham in the Premier League.
No thanks. I don't mind West Ham though. West Ham have a bit about them. They're fine, but they're not as violent.
So there's some West Ham fans that like us. That I'm just thinking Dan Lawless from West Ham Fan TV.
We've got a good. Let's be honest, we've got a good relationship with West Ham. No problem.
Lee Taylor says, considering only managed Northern Ireland, I don't think a championship club is a bad stepping stone in his career to progress on.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but you got a question there. Is he a step up on Steve Bruce though, or is he a step to the side? Side for me.
I haven't seen it yet. Or who would ever? Lee says, would you ever go to Millwall away?
No chance. Unless you want to live.
Dave Wallace says Lauren Blum.
No, he's done. But the thing is, there's too many dumb managers. But the thing is, right? My argument with this Dyche, Eddie Howe situation. Eddie Howe, I would take if he wasn't like tired and like wanted the season off. But a manager currently in a job, but I think could make a step up. And no offense to Burnley, would be Sean Dyche.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I think if we continue like this for the rest of the season, then I'd say
he's gone. For me, he's gone. He's gone. He's gone.
Thing is, if we're gonna sack Steve Bruce like soon, I wouldn't just like get a caretaker and wait for Eddie out, because we're seeing where that nearly got when Pardew left.
Yeah.
The thing is with Steve Bruce, so if Newcastle want to get rid of Steve Bruce, ideally I want to see him gone by Christmas. But if he goes at the end of the season and the next season, then we're only paying him off for a year. Do you know what I mean? We're still paying off bloody Alan Pardew for 8 seasons.
Yeah.
Anyway. That is very true. Oh, well then, guys, I think I'm going to end the stream there. So thank you very much for tuning in. So thank you very much. Don't forget to check out Toon Army TV on YouTube. I'm on the road to 3,000. How much are you on now?
3,000. I can't remember. I'm stream chat these days. 3,380 odd. I've got something like that.
I'm on the road to 3,400. 3,400. So help them on the road to there. Also, thanks very much, Lawrence and Dan, for popping in the live stream as well. Thank you very much.
See you guys.
I loved it.
Lawrence. Thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you very much, Dan, for tuning in as well.
Right, Pete.
Thank you very much.
Pleasure. I'll see you soon.
You as well. Take care, man.
Take care, bro.
Okay, bro. One more question. I don't think Bruce would get even sacked even if we got relegated. Well, you never know. That could happen. Well, then, guys, we'll end the stream from there for tonight. So thank you very much for those who tuned in, not to mention for those who popped up in the live chat as well. Thank you very much as always. Really much appreciated. So, yes, we'll end the stream there tonight. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to give this a like. Please comment if you wish as well. Of course, if you haven't checked me out before, please do hit the subscribe button. As well as I mentioned, don't forget check out Toon Army TV as well on YouTube. And until the next time I see you on YouTube, see you all later. Take care of yourselves. Hope you enjoyed the live stream from tonight. Thank you very much.